disproportionate. The truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it. If news anchors informants who informing them there's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this: we courting ships, important gifts. Of course it is what extortion is, in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks we ignoring, which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder is it real? Rappers actors say they high, say they sip with pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field that's for Israel. Wonder is it real?
Yo, what is going on though? All right, so I think we should have everything figured out. I'll be low-key salty if the mic's still messed up, but I don't know if you guys heard the news. We went back to the moon. Well, kind of, sort of, because back denotes previously being somewhere, and in order for them to go back to the moon, they'd have to not be lying and actually doing what they're saying. Oh, and they're not actually even claiming to go to the moon. They just looped around it after, like, what is this? Over 5 decades of claiming they're going to be back. In the 70s, we're going to have hotels, bro. There's going to be private transportation to the moon, brother. But don't worry, we're definitely going to walk on the moon again in 2020. I mean, 2022. I mean, 2024. I mean, in 2026, we're going to claim that we're looping around it, and we're going to give you like Nintendo 64 graphics that aren't live, even though we were supposedly live in 1969. The last time we went, we were saying, oh, yeah, well, I don't know. It's just we weren't really expecting people to want to live stream, and it's just kind of difficult to live stream. And even the announcer, like the normie that loves NASA, is like, yo, what are you talking about? You live streamed in like 69, bro. Like, yeah, well, just it's just a lot. It's really tough, man. It's really tough. A lot of processing demands, a lot of bandwidth issues. You feel me? But anyway, how exciting. I'll tell the story again. Back in like 2022, I was in Discord and I was talking to someone that was like a fan of NASA, and he was saying, let me pop this off so I can check the chat. Hopefully the mic is good now, right? So anyway, he was saying that we were going to walk on the moon again in 2024. And I'm like, I don't think so, brother. I don't think so. And he's like, no, yeah, for sure we are. And he had like all these reasons why it didn't happen the first time. He was telling me all the official reasons, because people just stopped getting interested and they weren't budgeting it the right way, and people weren't giving NASA enough money. That's definitely what we need to do, is give NASA more money, right? Or we wouldn't have Velcro. So I was like, nah, dude, this is not gonna happen. And he was so sure of it. I'm like, dude, I'll bet you whatever you want to bet. And he was like, $20,000. I was like, bet. And he's like, seriously? I'm like, yeah, 100%. And he's like, okay, well, there may be like a couple like small delays though. So it could be like in 2025. I'm like, okay, dude, I'll give you to 2026. They're not going to walk even. I'm saying if they claimed that they had people walking on the moon, obviously they're faking it. That's my perspective, right? they're not even going to fake it. They're not even going to claim that people are walking on the moon, right? And what do you know? 2026, they're claiming, oh, we're just going to go around it. They changed their mind. Just going to go around it. And now Elon's like, oh, we're going to go to the moon. What I think is going to happen is like Elon is going to claim, he's going to swoop in and be like, before we go to Mars, we got to go to the moon. And it's going to be somehow like more SpaceX supposedly doing it. And it'll be tough, right? Because I don't know what you guys think. I would think if you're going to fake it now, like we can't really believe anything because you can just use AI, right? But I think AI still has glitches. It's just risky, man, especially if they're trying to pull it off like it's live. Convenient timing with AI is what I'm saying. But we're about to look at some clips. They've already had some slip ups. But yeah, what I was kind of saying is it's pretty convenient that they launched on April Fool's Day. So that's what's up. Is that true? I don't know which part. But yeah, my boy didn't pay up to 20K, but it's okay. We're going to forgive him. 20K is life-changing money. Did you know how bad I need that money right now? Grifter got a grift. Do you know what grifting means? Grifting means someone swindling people. So like in this situation, I would have to not believe what I'm saying. Grifting doesn't mean that you dislike what I'm saying or you think I'm wrong about what I'm saying. Grifting would mean I know what I'm saying is not true, and then I'm trying to say it to trick people to get money. Yeah, great point, bro. I'm such a grifter that I stepped away from content for a year. Really thought that one out, man, okay? Anyway, okay, so I'm going to play this clip. Let me upload it real quick. So it's just such an interesting news clip where they cover like everything. You know, they mention FE, they talk about people faking it. Why do so many people think it's fake? It's just look at how much things have changed where now, like if you're under like 40, most people say that the moon landing was fake. They really lost the PR battle. All right, let's check it out.
Generation. And so this is going to inspire the next generation. And frankly, besides the technical spin-offs, I think that's the most important thing.
Yeah, and it couldn't have come at a better time. I got to say, you know, I wish I was of that generation. My grandfather worked on the Apollo missions, and so it's part of my family. And yet, we live in a day and age where, you know, we're seeing the advent of this AI deep fake generation, and there is a lot of skepticism. And you hear from time to time people say, look, we never landed on the moon. This was all, you know, a hoax perpetrated on the American public. And yet, on this day, and for the next 10 days, I'm hoping that we get to see a lot of concrete proof that once and for all puts all of that to bed in an experience that we can all share. But as an astronaut, do you ever encounter those types of conspiracy theories? And when you do, what is the surefire way to bring people to what we have done on the moon?
Well, sure. And, you know, when I go out and speak to the public, I'll oftentimes get this whole question of, was that all faked? And my answer is, look, it's simple. It would have taken a lot more to fake it than to actually do it. You think you're going to keep those tens of thousands of people quiet all these decades as part of this conspiracy? That's just not going to happen. Do you think the Russians wouldn't have called us out? They would have known if we had faked it. And, you know, this was all inspired by a movie in the early 70s called Capricorn 1, which was a great movie, by the way. It starred O.J. Simpson, about a fake NASA Mars landing, right? And so, you know, it's kind of like the flat earthers. You know, what can you do?
What can you do other than hopefully force people to watch science happening in front of our very eyes? Leroy Chow, always a pleasure speaking with you.
Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
So much.
Let's bring in NBC News correspondent Emily Akeda. She is with a bunch of Artemis watchers.
Force people to watch science happening right in front of our eyes. Nothing says you're legit like having to force people to watch something. All right, that's what's up. Okay, so let's check out this video because I have an interesting story that I'm going to tell you guys.
Stars in outer space.
Because if you guys remember, I went to don't be lame, bro. I went and talked to some astronauts and I was asking them different questions, you know?
Stars in outer space.
And I put little glasses on. I filmed those videos not too long ago. Oh, also, I had been asked to get the telemetry data from the GoPro from when I went to Antarctica. And like when I extracted the data from my GoPro, it was showing my home address, so I couldn't release it. I've moved from that address now, and then I couldn't find the little whatever it's called, like external SD was a little one. And I was looking through my computer today, like my laptop, and I saw the file, like I'm pretty sure I saw like it's on my hard drive. So you need a certain program to open it. But for those that were begging for the telemetry data, I'm pretty sure I found it today. And I don't care if you guys know that address now. He asked if you could see stars.
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my crewmates about that today. I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and I was saying I haven't seen as many as I thought I would. So, Reed?
We have so much illumination from the sun on the moon and the earth right now. It is hard at times to see stars, just like when you walk out in the daytime, you see a blue sky but no stars.
Bruh, you gotta be kidding me right now. And like everything works perfect.
We see the black space and no stars. But tonight we're going to be pointed into deep space, and we're going to turn out all the lights in the spacecraft for the first time on the mission. And if you give yourself about 20 or 30 minutes, we do this all the time on the International Space Station. Christina and I just have great fond memories of this. You'll start to see the stars, and if you give it enough time, you will see so many stars. It's hard to see the constellations because there are so many stars out there. And the coolest part of those stars is they do not twinkle at all. They are just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect pinpricks of light.
Okay, so that's pretty weird. So they say they almost look, and then it cuts it out.
All. They are just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect.
What a coincidence. Why did they edit that word out?
Is they do not twinkle at all. They are just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect pinpricks of light. So that is our homework for tonight, Jeremy. We are doing that.
We'll take a picture.
They're just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect pinpricks of light. So that is our homework for tonight, Jeremy. We are doing that.
We'll take a picture.
So anyway, what's interesting, right, is you can tell they've been working on that answer, because if you guys don't know, like one of the biggest things they slipped up on that busted them was astronauts giving different answers for this. And then like, you know, the scientific communicators like Neil deGrasse Tyson coming out and saying that you don't see the stars, or that you do see stars, because the only reason that you don't see stars during the day on the Earth is because of the atmosphere. So there is no like during the day, right? What does that mean? You're out in space. So like on the ISS, they're like slipping up on their answers, and they're claiming like, oh, they don't see the stars during the day, but then some of them are saying you always see the stars. So I went and asked an astronaut like face to face. This is the girl that supposedly dropped her backpack on the ISS and it started floating around. I asked her about that too, and she like totally dropped the ball. I guess I'd never released that footage. I was planning on like trying to compile more before I released any, because I didn't want them to like kick me out or like ban me from whatever it's called, like NASA's, you know, place in Florida. But anyway, so I asked this girl about the star question, and I get asked another astronaut about the star question as well. And they're all giving different answers, right? But she says, I want to say she says that I specifically say, can you see stars on like the day side of Earth, right? So like close when you're on the side of Earth that's by the sun, and she said that you couldn't. And I'm like, oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. You're not supposed to say that. So now they've definitely realized that people figured that out and they've like mastered it, where he's saying you see them, but it's really hard to see them. And it's like, wait, why is it really hard to see them if there's no atmosphere? Right. And then of course it supposedly only twinkles because of the atmosphere. That's a different thing. Right. But you obviously have like the dispersion of the light in the quote unquote atmosphere that's going to make it hard to see. You can't see the stars because of that. But if you're out in space, then you should be able to see the stars. So he said he even is still kind of slipping up, saying like it's hard to see them, just like on Earth because of the light. It's like, no, it's not just like on Earth though. It would not be like on Earth. So anyway, and then I just think it's pretty interesting. Why does it cut out the fake right here? I mean, that's pretty weird, right? I don't know why it's freezing up.
It's hard to see the constellations because there are so many.
Bro. Okay. All right, let's move on to the next one. But I mean, I think that kind of speaks for itself, right? Like all these people were supposedly doing the same things. They shouldn't even have to hesitate to answer. When I asked that lady, she's like having to think about it. You would know, right? You're gonna look out the window, you're gonna see it. Okay, if what they say is true and where they are is really where they are, okay, it's very simple. You would go outside, or you would look outside, and it would be like pitch black, right? And even when you see the sun, like you're just gonna see a light, but there is no atmosphere, so it's not going to be nearly as bright. It's not going to dim out all the stuff around it. It's just out there in a near perfect vacuum that magically sits next to the atmosphere, violating the second law of thermodynamics or whatever. So it would be like the most incredible experience ever. You would feel like you're like swimming in a sea of stars. You would see way more stars than ever. It would be difficult to even grasp, unimaginable amount. Like if you guys have ever just gotten away from light pollution, got up on a mountain or whatever, you just see stars everywhere. There's an insane amount of stars. If you're out there where there's no atmosphere at all, right, it would amount to zero light pollution. So it would just be insane. You would never forget that, and you would know exactly. So it's like a difficult lie that if you didn't plan for it, right? Our entire experience is that you don't see the stars when the sun's out. So when you're asking them like, yo, you see the stars when the sun's out, when you're over there by the sun, they don't really know what to say. So they've messed up and contradicted themselves multiple times. You can tell that they try to master it, where now they need to kind of find an answer. The official answer needs to be somewhere in the middle. So they can say, oh, well, we see stars, but you don't see them that well. That still doesn't work with the official explanation, right? All right. On to the next. It's such a trip. I try not to be like paranoid or like conspiracy theories about stuff like this. Everything runs super smooth, and then as soon as I go live, like everything starts glitching. Oh yeah, to the people last stream, they were saying like, watch, he'll never look at the camera. Yeah, the monitor's above my camera, bro. Like, you know, what you want from a brother. All right.
All of your food out of bags of some kind. This is
check
Jeremy's
this out.
dinner, and in space, you really just eat all of your food out of bags of some kind, plastic bags or little metallic bags, because we have to rehydrate a lot of our food. This is actually shrimp cocktail.
Watch his ear. Look at that. Whoa. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Augmented reality. Uh-oh. Oh, that's legit.
And this
That's
has
legit.
been rehydrated already, so we
You know
added
what's so
water to
awesome? Not having to have Cogdis and convince myself that that's just objectively fake or that it's not. You know what's so cool about that? Is that I just get to chill and just watch this, and I have no pressure. I don't care at all. I'm just going to watch it.
Jeremy's dinner, and in space, you really just eat all of your food out of bags of some kind, plastic bags or
That's how
little
augmented reality
metallic
works.
bags, because we have to rehydrate a lot of our food. This is actually shrimp cocktail.
Uh-oh. Houston, we have a problem. Uh-oh.
And this
The bag
has
just
been
merges into
rehydrated
his ear,
already,
bro. That's
so
how
we added
augmented
water
reality
to
works.
it, and the shrimp soak back up the water, and it's actually pretty tasty. And this has been rehydrated already, so we added water to it, and the shrimp soak back up the water, and it's actually pretty tasty.
Uh-oh. Is this guy a reptile or what? Did you guys see that? The dude's eye literally just like... Bro, how do you explain that?
Added water to it, and the shrimp soak back.
You know what's super cute is watching these like fanboys literally do mental gymnastics to try to explain all of it. And it's like, yo, are you like NASA's attorney? Because that isn't even NASA's official explanation. Like, what are you even talking about right now? Like, you sound insane. They would never claim that.
Back up the water, and it's actually pretty tasty.
Do you see it? His eye just like stretches out. It's just layering an augmented reality. So the layers interact. It's like unavoidable artifacts, especially if you're trying to pull something off live. Are they going to claim it's a shadow?
This is an example of a food that
His eye changes, bro. Here, let's... Do you see it? Literally, like, elongates.
This is an example of a food that has not been rehydrated yet. It got all dried out for flying up here in space, and those are green beans. So
Yo, what? Whoa. What is that? What is that?
We do have to eat our vegetables even in space, but don't worry, they do give us mac and cheese.
I don't get it. They try to say it's like a reflection. What is that? Okay, see the little red dot here? I would say, like, what are you going to try to say? It's a reflection or something, but then it pops back up in a
We
different
do have
place.
to eat our vegetables even in space, but don't worry, they do give us mac and cheese.
I mean, that alone shows you that they're lying. So why do they have to fake the footage? Like, here's the pretty simple follow-up, right? If they were really where they say they are doing what they say they're doing, why would they need to use augmented reality to try to fake stunts while they're supposedly in space? Obviously, they would not have to do that. So just because the conclusion may make you uncomfortable, you know, it doesn't mean that you should like do mental gymnastics and try to explain it away. Don't make this weird, bro. All right, let's see what else we got here. Uh-oh. Let me make sure I can check the chat real quick. Like, am I tripping? I want to read the chat, see if you guys... Because, I mean, I feel like there's a lot of truth or traps with this. I feel like sometimes people, like, have pareidolia. Like, that's real. Sometimes they want to see stuff that's not necessarily there. I don't think that's what I'm doing right there. I think that's pretty clearly, you know... Maybe a model Krampus chat. I don't really care too much. Oh, Iru here. If you like, I can join. Yeah, let's do it. Let's do it, bro. I'm gonna make you add as moderator. Yeah, I can send a link, but I need to send it to you privately. Let me go add a guest, copy link. Where do you want me to send it? Telegram, perfect. My boy Iru is a legend. All right, I shot you the link, brother. Yo, what's it? Turn down your reds on OBS, bro. I'm not in OBS anymore. Is the mic still not good? Is the mic bad? Testing, 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 testing. Mic is perfect. It's low. I mean, which one is it? Testing. I could do this. Boop. There we go. Wit is Dean Winchester Hunter fam. I don't know who that is. I don't know what that means. My boy Iru's gonna jump on here. That's gonna be dope. I didn't even look a ton into this. But am I tripping, or is it like really weird that NASA's obsessed with Greek gods? They're supposedly all about science. Let me find that video real fast to go ahead and play that. So this is just some kind of like circumstantial stuff. Guys, tell me what you think here. Scroll breaks down some of kind of the sketchy symbolism and stuff like that. Oh, Iru, what's up, brother? Let me play this 1 minute 30-second clip, and I'm gonna throw you in. Share. Dang.
Chaos surrounding this return to the moon feels like the real launch. Like this image circulating of this NASA employee with a satanic tattoo. I guess it makes sense since NASA is just Satan minus T. These photos of the moon going viral, people are claiming that these clouds didn't move, that the pictures were taken 12 hours apart. But in actuality, NASA put out this tweet saying that these pictures were taken 1 minute apart, if the pictures are even real. NASA is infamous for putting out CGI photos. Have you seen the little toy that they brought into space? Its nickname is ZGI, which stands for Zero Gravity Indicator, but it sounds a lot like CGI. The Artemis shuttle was 322 feet tall. That's the number for skulls and bones. Then they launched this shuttle on April 1st, April Fool's Day, at 6:24 p.m. 6:24 is June 24th, which is the birthday for Freemasonry. There's also this video that's going viral where the astronauts are believed to have exited the shuttle before the launch even happened. But look how obvious this is. It says 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, this is too obvious. The spacesuits resemble Freemasonry attire. Anton LaVey, the founder of the Church of Satan, says that Freemasonry served as a rudimentary screening process for organized Satanism for those that naively think that politics and ritual magic do not mix. In order to bring in a new world or a new system, they have to destroy the old one. The method being used to destroy it is chaos magic.
All right, some circumstantial stuff. All right, man, I'm excited. I'm about to bring my boy Iru on. We're just gonna. What's
Hey,
up,
man.
brother?
How you
How's it
doing?
going? Good. How are
Fine,
you,
and
man?
you? I'm in Argentina right now.
Nice. How you been, bro?
Well, pretty busy. I streaming the 8 days in a row, attending the Artemis 2 mission to the moon. So it was very funny. And I let it rust maybe with my English because the last time that I used it was maybe when Globebusters used to be, So maybe my English is a little bit off, but a pleasure to be with you again, man. Where have you been all this time?
Dealing with drama, man. Had to step away. Lots of drama, personal drama.
Yeah. I understand.
Yeah.
I speak a little bit with my Spanish community that is a little sad how English community maybe get apart with the old stuff around the Antarctic sun and that kind of no bullshit, because I really believe that you've been there with Jeran, but I think that a little sad for the people that maybe was again dominated by Helios, just not assuming that maybe there is another explanation for that type of effect. But nice to see you again, and nice to see that you are streaming again.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I'm a little rusty, bro, but we'll get back into it. So you've been keeping up with the Artemis thing pretty closely?
Yeah. This time, I think there is a lot of things going on. First of all, I think the community in terms of the worldwide is growing, and it's growing very fast. I every day I saw new faces in TikTok, in Instagram, in all these social networks, and that's is really, really nice. I keep tracking a lot of things in terms of the sociology, I think is the word.
Sociology.
That there are worries. They are worried about the how fast this movement is keep growing. Doesn't matter what they show us or what they trying to use as a weapon in terms of the information, and people start getting crazy, questioning everything. Doesn't matter if they are flat earther or not. I think there is a lot of new people get into the flat earth topic, and that's nice. But for example, in Spain and Argentina, there is a lot of podcasts or live streaming, addressing statistics made by a big institution, talking about like how many people are not believing in the moon landings or there are become flat earthers, and it's wild. It's really wild.
Yeah, dude, I was just kind of talking about that. It's crazy how like nobody believes, like everyone's skeptical of this, and almost everybody knows that they faked the first moon landing. Got even people in my family, like younger people in my family that are like notoriously not conspiratorial. Like they're like, oh yeah, we definitely faked the first time, and so we're not going to believe them this time, because now that AI's out, how convenient. So yeah, they're definitely doing damage control. Dude, something else, I don't know if you were on here. I played them answering the like, do you see stars in space question, right? And I'm sure you know all about like how they've just totally dropped the ball with that and given contradictory answers. And
Yeah,
I asked an astronaut to their face, right? I went to NASA and I would put on the little glasses. It's like basically meta glasses before meta
yeah.
glasses were a thing.
When was that?
I did this year and a half, maybe 2 years ago. So
Okay.
it's been a long time. And I asked the girl that supposedly dropped her backpack. So she went on a spacewalk and she was doing some repairs and dropped her backpack. That's a story. You could see it from Earth and all this stuff, and it burned up in orbit or something like that. And I started asking her questions about that and the official story. She got the official story wrong. This is the girl that supposedly did it. And when I started asking her, she got super nervous. And I have the video. I haven't released it, but I should release it now. I was trying to keep them all private while I was going there because I didn't want them to like ban me. I didn't want to like release that I was asking the astronauts questions. But anyway, I asked about the stars and she like totally dropped the ball on the question as well. And I was just saying, like, yo, if you were really up there, everyone would have the same answer. It would be super easy to answer. It would not even, it would be like the number one thing that is the stars, would be what you would see them all the time everywhere. They'd be crazy bright, and that would just be the end of it. Right.
Totally agree, man. I have a few things, a few clips about that, because I think that is I think you say the nail of the coffin, something like that, right? In English.
Yeah, now on the coffin.
And yeah, because that happened again here on the Artemis 2 mission. And in fact, in today's press conference from NASA, they released a picture that is completely insane, because I think they know that there is a lot of people questioning, because the situation where the astronaut is asked by a child about that, if you still see the stars in the outer space, and the first astronaut answer is with a little doubt, like yeah, I think I see, but not so much. And immediately the wise man, because the names of the crew is amazing. You have Christina Koch, then you have wise man, and then you have Victor Glover, like the Victory Glover, something like that. This is black man. So the names are really a little funny. And the commander make a gesture like closing the lips, trying to say shut up. And if you like, I can share a little bit.
Yeah, I'm gonna pop your screen share up right now.
Okay. And well, the first thing is that, remember that, like you mentioned before, we are in the age of AI, man. I mean, the Russian community are making a lot of videos. You heard the audio too?
Yeah. Okay.
Well, the audio is not, it doesn't matter because it's just in the Russian, but this is all made by AI and really cheap, really fast. Of course, like you mentioned, there is some glitches maybe to go live. The things that we see in the Artemis 2 capsule is the same techniques that they use in the ISS. They never, for example, they talk about what they see, but they never take a camera and go to the window and point it out of the window and show. Everything is just storytelling. It's just a storytelling. And here you can see how amazing these things become. I mean, the guy is just in the capsule, whatever the capsule it is, showing from the looking outside the window and see the moon surface. Because remember that this is just the beginning of the Artemis mission. I don't know how they're going to maybe create the landing, the actual landing on the moon surface, but it's, they, first of all, you and United States has been all around the media, the war in Iran and things like that. And the 1st of April, they start making all these, mm, distraction, or maybe just calm down, to the media start talking more maybe about the moon landing or this trip to the moon than the war and all the stuff that's going around. Then you have things like this, for example, that this is a guy that creates like a tour inside the ISS, and with Sora. I mean, this is maybe 2, 3, 4 prompts, and you can see the typical tour inside the ISS. Of course, this is not the same. The tour in the ISS is never live. It's all the time there are release like maybe 20-minute video, but it's all post-processing. They have all the technique of the movie, so they never make a really big tour on live streams. They just stay there floating in the zero-G environment and talking to the press or whatever. But here, how easy become right now. So imagine that what they can do. They never show things like this, for example. We never see any live footage with storms. This is also AI, of course. They never show something like this ever in the history of the outer space. We never see real-time storms or real-time, blinking lights of the cities down there at night. Nothing like that. This type of things is just like glowing patches in the post-production video release. Maybe when NASA they want it, because we don't have any item to trying to identify that, well, that is happening right now because the cloud matches or the storm matches or whatever. They always release like 2, 3, 4 days later just one picture, for example, with the Amazon star fires, things like that. That is big, something big to see supposedly from that type of distances. So we never see something like that, but with one prompt you can make this now. Or you can make these type of things. You can go to the moon and make some parkour like this Russian guy. And it's easy as like this. So supposedly they're going to make the first attempt to land on the moon on the, I think 28 or something like that. And maybe there's going to be some delay and maybe, 2030 or whatever. So at that time, if you just extrapolate how fast the AI is growing in terms of quality, is going to be, and we mentioned this so many times when we used to make Globuster, like there's going to be a time that we are not going to be able to distinguish anymore from real from fake. And that time become, right now, because the AI is very, very good in some cases.
Yeah, the AI is already out of control. So, I mean, dude, this is kind of the tricky thing about it. It's like I already would never believe anything that they say. Like, if you memory wiped me almost, like, it's already too far gone. I mean, you would agree that, like, the AI that the public has is, there's no way, there's 0% chance that that's like the most up-to-date AI, right? I mean, it would mean the government's insanely incompetent, right? If the CIA just sat back, for example, and they're like, yo, let everybody have the same AI we do, I just don't think that's the case. Even if it is, I mean, the commercial stuff's out of control, right? But yeah, because that's what someone in my family was saying. They were like, I mean, dude, now it's too late because of what they've lied about in the past. Now, even if they really went to the moon, like, we could never believe them, basically. So I don't know what your take on. How would we ever prove it fake? Unless we, I mean, AI does normally leave some artifacts, right? I think they'd be kind of nervous about doing a moon landing.
Yeah, I mean, if you are in this topic, from long time ago, you're never gonna be convinced by something that they show on television. We need the experience for ourselves. If not, it's just the same thing. I mean, they are making nothing different from what we see in the ISS, for example, live feeds or what they did. Well, I think in the 60s and 70s was much better what they released to the public in terms of the moon landing. I think that the moon landing in terms of the 69 to 72 was amazing, quote unquote, for that time, because we used to have live stream from the moon, playing golf, going in the boogie and things like that. And now people are cheering and trying to celebrate 4 guys inside of a Orion capsule that they don't do anything special. They don't even take the camera to the window. Everything is released 2 days after some, whatever event they claim, because the deep space network is not advanced enough to, show us live feed. I mean, if you go right now to the NASA webpage and you just go to the live stream, let me before addressing the stars. If you go to
because
NASA,
I haven't been keeping up with it that much. So they just straight up said no live feed again.
Well, maybe they are playing all the time with the blue screen, or they just presenting this in low quality because the deep space network is not enough to give us the 4K quality. They released that, maybe 1-2 days later. And if you scroll, if you making like you have sometimes the blue screen like this, and they maybe keep this like 2 hours, and if not, you just with this. I mean, NASA has this problem, like I think that it is not department of people thinking how to put a good camera, like they can move from the ground, like right now I have here a tiny OBS shot camera that I can move with software. They never can move anything. There are just still cameras pointing there with no any logic, or maybe put 3 cameras. I don't know. I mean, you are NASA, right? I mean, and this is all they give us from 8 days in a row right now. Then you have the multimedia webpage dedicated to the 4K, photograph and things like that, but never in real time. And this is all. I mean, and you have a couple of glitches, maybe to create this feeling of wow, the signal is going through a cloud. I don't know, and this is all. I mean, this is all.
But why this wouldn't even happen, right? Like there's no reason, there's no difference in it being shot from there or being shot from where they claim Starlinks are. What's the difference? There is no difference.
No.
The speed of light, right? So there's no difference.
No, and then you have this the scene that I think represent how scared they get when they ask about the star. This is just a beginning of the clip that you are presenting, but with a little bit of special frames to the faces of the astronaut, and then in the middle is just a couple of old clips from NASA. So it's around 2 minutes. If you're okay, I playing.
For sure.
And then we discuss.
Is from Liam in Elsipogtog, New Brunswick.
And I wonder, do you still see stars in outer space?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my crewmates about that today. I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and
Watch the reaction.
I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and I was saying I haven't seen as many as I thought I would, so read.
Did you catch it? Watch again.
Many as I thought I would, so read. Many as I thought I would, so read.
Reed Weissman tells Jeremy Hansen to close his mouth when asked about stars in space.
We have so much illumination from the sun on the moon and the earth right now. It is hard at times to see stars.
Whoever looked away from Earth into the black void. So
all
because
the
you can
time.
see, because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
Because you can see the stars.
Oh yeah.
You know, and pretty much all the time you can see the stars.
There's more than stars. You can see planets. You can see moon.
We're never able to see stars from the lunar surface. I don't recall during the period of time that we were photographing the solar curl what stars we could see. I don't remember seeing any.
It's just like when you walk out in the daytime, you see a blue sky but no stars. We look outside and we see the black space and no stars. But tonight we're going to be pointed into deep space and we're going to turn out all the lights in the spacecraft for the first time on the mission. And if you give yourself about 20 or 30 minutes, we do this all the time on the International Space Station. Christina and I just have great fond memories of this. You'll start to see the stars, and if you give it enough time, you'll see so many stars, it's hard to see the constellations because there are so many stars out there. And
one thing I really want your generation to embrace is that the Earth is a closed system. We cannot leave the Earth. There's no place to go.
I remember Bill Neal saying that. So you have here a couple of faces that is amazing. I mean, the guy is literally closing the mouth. Is in the, if you see the actual clip, it's there. You know, something's weird. You know, the only industry in the world that has this weird moment, it's space. You know, that's
and then you notice that they clearly both heard the question immediately. Like they both reacted and then looked over. Like they knew the question. The story is that it took like 9 seconds for a delay or whatever. So how did they both react immediately once the question was asked and look at each other?
No, this is the weirdest industry in the world. I mean, it's like that. Everything, nothing is clear. Nothing is open to the public to see. You know, there is no camera that is turning around the capsule in real time. They never bring the camera to the window. You have these strange moments when they start looking at each other. You know, like something is off. Don't say that. And this excuse is crazy. I mean, first of all, we have, you know, we all see Don Pettit and Mike Massimino talking about, no, we see star, we see planet, we see the zodiacal lights, we see, and remember that from the beginning, sometimes they show us this to the public. I think not NASA, because I think at that time NASA doesn't exist, but the institution, the government institutions. You know, supposedly there is a guy in the gondola, and I believe that's real. But to, you know, trying to convince people what the guy see in the outer space, they present this, and you need to put in the time where this was released, right? I mean, this was the best VFX at that time. Then you have things like the great Tyson talking about this idea, no, the technical explanation why you cannot see stars from the ground, of course, in the daylight, but in the outer space, supposedly there is no daylight. It's everything is just a matter of perspective, right? So let's play this clip. It's really short.
So that's why we have a blue sky.
Nice.
Now, it's also why you can't see stars in the daytime other than the sun.
Well,
it's not, oh, you can't see stars in the daytime because the sun is out. The reason why you can't see stars in the daytime is because the scattered blue light has rendered our atmosphere aglow.
Nice.
The atmosphere is glowing blue light. And that prevents you from seeing the stars behind it. If you took away the atmosphere,
you'd be able to look up and see the sun.
The sun will be there, but then you like dark adjust over here, and there's full sky, full stars right over here.
Wow.
Over there, all around.
Oh man.
So I have a friend that made this just recently outside of his house, and he made this, you know, with clouds, with the light contamination from the city, with the cell phone, you know, a cheap cell phone. He's pointing at Sirius, right? This is a Sirius star, and it's in Spanish. That is why I, play the sound. But now he's telling, okay, on top of my head I have a city light, right? And I am start making on purpose that the light from the city light, it's washing out the image, so I'm still able to see from the ground this Sirius star with my cell phone. Now I have this simulating, quote unquote, the light from the sun or the earth. So if you just cover that, the stars appear again. And you can see, I mean, it's impossible that NASA never bring a camera dedicated to see stars in real time in the outer space. It's crazy, man. And this idea that, yeah, man, I understand. If you are pointing to the sun directly, you're going to have, even in space, some halo around it, some glow that maybe prevent you to see that patch in the field of view, the stars. But like the Grace Tyson says, over here, over there, up, down, back, you must be able to see the stars. Why not? What is the, and when, Blue Origin starts making this tourism to the Karma line, they varied the idea of no, because the camera is not adjusting the ISO and then the lens of the camera, whatever, because supposedly you are able to see with your eyes. And we all hear about William Schaffner that talking about
death. I don't know. Was that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop, and it's gone. But to see the blue color, whoop, bye. And now you're staring into black. Well, it's blue sky. And there's something you shoot through it all of a sudden, as though you whip off a sheet off you when you're asleep, and you're looking into blackness, into black ugliness. And you look down, there's the blue down there, and the black up there, and it's theirs. Is there death? I don't know. Was that death? Is that the way death is? Whoop, and it's gone. Like a bead and a beat, and suddenly you're through the blue. And you're into black. And you're into, it's mysterious and galaxies and things. But what you see is black. And what you see down there is light. And that's the difference. And not to have this, it has nothing to do with that. It has to do with the enormity and the quickness and the suddenness of life and death. And oh my God.
So it's not matter about the adjusting the camera. Nobody can see stars. And I have an old simulation, real-time simulation made. I think it was in Unreal. It's for understanding the atmospheric scattering. So here you can, of course, I think everybody experienced that, one time in a life at least, that you can see the sun going into the other side of the world, making this, light halo, light glow on the horizon. But then you can see the stars, not in the patch area of the sun, but on the top. If it's a little black, you can see the stars. Sorry for the sound. The stars over there. So this is a simulation, real time, trying to explain how the atmosphere is ionized by the electricity of the sun, at least in my opinion, all the noble gases. And then if you go out, of course, let me just keep forward. Here you have the night. Of course, you're going to see the stars and all that type of things. And then if you climb up, yeah, you're going to have the glow from the gases in the atmosphere. But this is supposedly what they must to see. It doesn't matter if they look directly to the sun. If you look directly to the sun, it's just an area where the sun is glowing, but all around it, you must see the stars in the outer space. Doesn't matter if it's day or night. And of course, if you go to the, for something that NASA never showed us in high quality, even in the Artemis mission, if you, let me just find then a little later the official picture of the Hello World, because here you can see the outer edge glow. And this is, this is something like they present us like a Hello World picture. I don't know if you saw it. It's just this. If you put Hello world.
bro, yeah, you're exactly right. It would just the sun would just look like a star. It would just be
Yeah,
a little bit bigger. It would have nothing like outside of right where the sun was at. It would just be a little dot.
yeah, because we know that the atmosphere is what amplifies the moon size and the sun. So here you can see this is the halo, the ring of the light, supposedly because the sun is, of course, the other side of the earth. And this is Venus. And remember that Venus has a really Gnostic symbology because it's like a representation of the false light. It's like the Lucifer is the, I don't know how to,
Yeah.
the light bearer and things like that. So you have seen the Earth and Venus in the outer space. And this is a simulation from 2004. I mean, imagine what they can do if they want it. But this is supposedly what they must be see in outer space. And this is the other thing. For example, here you can see the Terminator line. We never see a clear picture of the Terminator line presenting us with all the light from the dusk of the sunrise. I mean, the yellow line, everything is just like black and it's a hard line that separate light from the night. I don't know if I have something here. Maybe let me just Earth pictures from outer space. Let me see if we can find some real picture, because, for example, these type of things, from Apollo 8 or whatever, they you just have, where is all the dusk and the sunrises and the, red color and yellow color, like in this simulation, for example. This is just another question that I make. I don't know. I'm not saying that it's all the time you must be see this, but they never show us that gradient in color. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
And even in the Artemis 2. And because all these things that it happened, because of course in internet, it's, this type of situation where you must be going into the dusk or sunrise or suns, I don't know how to pronounce in English. And this is just a simulation to pointing out what the Grace Tyson is saying, what the astronauts are saying, and how nervous they get when they ask about the sunrise. Oh, sorry, the stars. The star is something that they turn crazy. And there is also, I believe I have it here. Well, supposedly, this is from an article. I think it's this one. If I don't, let me see if this one. Supposedly, this is astronomy picture, and they saying that if you are taking, if you have the opportunity to turn off the atmosphere, this is what you must see in outer space. And this is just from an astronomy site, but we never see this. And they still have problem to give a straight answer about the stars in the outer space. So it's completely crazy.
Bro, it would be the number one thing I would say. Like, bro, you would just see stars everywhere. It would be the coolest thing ever,
exactly.
And it would be the easiest answer ever. It's so fake and gay. You wouldn't even have to think about it at all. You would just like, you look out the window, you'd see like you were swimming in an ocean of stars. Like we can on Earth, right? Just go like right outside Vegas. There's Red Rock. It's pitch black. You can just see the lights from Vegas a while away, or anywhere you go without light pollution, and it's like inconceivable the amount of stars that you see. It's incredible, dude. Imagine getting way closer to them. I mean, like in their world, relatively, it would be insignificantly closer, right? But way further away from any light pollution, right? And then you don't have the atmosphere at all. It would just be wild. You would see nothing but stars almost, and you would never forget about it. You would never have to think about the answer to that question, bro. It's like you would see it all day, every time you looked out the window. And then it's like you said, like, bro, the first thing they would do is show us that shot. That's like the coolest thing. You get out of the way, now we can see the stars for real. You would show us that shot. And they never do that. This guy right here, he never does a 360. They never go to the window.
They never,
bro, that should be common sense.
they never bring with them a special camera setting up to see the stars in real time. They never.
Yeah, and you know why, right? Like that's so hard to fake, bro. Like I thought about
Yeah,
this, and we went through it. Oh, bro, because you would have to take the position of the star's lifetime relative to the position that they say that they are, and in like even though the stars are so far away and they're somewhat insignificant in relation to distance to the Earth or whatever, but while you're changing your viewing angle, they would change, right? So if you're showing it to us live and then you're claiming to be at a certain location live, it would be able to be fact checked. And just one little slip up, right? And what are you're gonna just AI and CGI that? You really can't. One slip up, and we're gonna know the whole thing's fake. So it's just way too risky to show us stars live. That's why they can't do it.
Yeah, and in fact, I think this is a little bit of damage control because this is today a press conference, and the first thing that the black woman is going to say is this.
And we'll start with Lakeisha.
Thank you. And thank you for your continued interest in our mission and in Artemis. So we're into flight day 8, and the mission continues to go well as the crew prepares to transition back to Earth, and we get ready for entry day. After an exciting day of science on Monday and a day for the crew to recover and then achieve some other flight objectives yesterday, the team is turning our attention to the return and getting the crew safely home. Now, because this is a development flight, we are thinking about what we can still learn in the remaining days to better understand the systems and to inform future missions. And we're still getting a lot of imagery down from the spacecraft and from the crew. And I wanted to share a couple of the imagery highlights today. The crew was able to send down a group photo, and it's great to see them doing so well and in such great spirits. And I'm happy to see Rise there front and center with the team. We can't wait to welcome those smiling faces home. Now, the crew also took an image yesterday of the Milky Way, which is stunning and free from...
What? So now they took this picture yesterday.
Atmospheric interference, the crew could see the glowing ribbon of stars and filaments, a clear view of our home galaxy. So I also wanted to highlight...
Okay, that's all. I mean, it's just that. They just take this photo and they, calm down everybody out there in the internet. This is what the astronauts see in the outer space, and this is the picture.
So then how would you ever even hesitate for half of a second if someone asks you about stars?
I don't know, because it's like if you are on a trip and see trees outside of the window and then somebody asks you, did you see trees on the road? Yes, of course, I see trees. Right. I mean, something like that.
And we know why it's a tricky thing to answer on the spot, right? Because like on Earth, you don't always see stars. You know what I'm saying? Like you don't see stars during the day. So our actual real life experience, you don't see stars. And dude, I'll tell you this, dude, when you're face to face with the astronauts, so you're like, I was literally 4 feet away, and I was staring in their eyes. Dude, it literally looks like they're traumatized. I don't know if you've ever experienced someone that has like MPD or something, but like they'll kind of snap over and they have like what's called dead eyes, and they just look like glossy, distant, like zoned out, like just empty dead eyes. Every astronaut looked like that, bro. Like every astronaut's eyes, like they looked like had been brainwashed or something. Yeah, it was crazy. And I asked her the question, and she looked at me super shocked because she didn't know the answer. So it was like it wasn't programmed, like. And I'm not going to be too conspiratorial, whatever. I'm not saying she's literally programmed. I think it's possible, but she didn't have the answer, right? And she looked at me like trying to think about what she's supposed to say. And then she started stuttering and she messed up the answer, right? She said that she didn't see them whenever you're on the daytime side of Earth.
Yeah. And here Barbara Mania saying that photo was found to be original posted in 2008. I didn't check it, but I mean the picture that they show in the press conference. And then something that I always ask myself is that with all doubts about seeing or not the stars, why they use a sextant as a secondary or an emergency guidance and navigation, which is just an optical. Is this guy supposedly in the Apollo? I don't know if it was Apollo 12, 13, whatever. They are testing an optical, direct optical observation of the stars to use as a guidance and navigation. So if you are doubting about if you are seeing or not stars, how are you gonna use this equipment? Supposedly that is something that you must be have at the first time, just put your eyes in the bucket and see the stars and start guiding the capsule. You know what I mean? This is,
say it again.
what I mean is that if you all the time has doubt about the answer of the there is or not able to see stars in outer space, they always have this problem to answer. Remember that in the Apollo missions, they use or they have installed this Apollo guidance and navigation system, which is based on the optical sextant that supposedly you are able to see direct from the inside capsule to the outer space, the stars, to guide yourself if your primary electronic system fail. You know what I mean?
Gotcha. So so literally they had to be able to see the stars for the supposed navigation system to even work.
Exactly. For example.
Yeah.
So you have all these weird stuff and about the stars. The stars is like a killing topic in NASA. I don't know how this little girl, make that tough question. I don't know. It's crazy times that we are living here in the outer space industry. But I am amazed how much people it's clearly start questioning the official narrative. It's amazing. I mean, here you have another clip from this is in English, and maybe it's nice how the guy is pointing out what we ask in terms of to the
perfect. I wish I would have said it.
I'm not saying that the Artemis 2 mission is being faked, but what I am saying, and emphatically, is I'm underwhelmed right now. I was really excited for some cool stuff, and I've seen about 10 still photographs, just static images that look slightly better than the ones taken in 1969. Apparently from the exact same spot. They have a spot they like. They like to take a picture with the Earth about that big, and then they don't take any other pictures. And what an opportunity to really stick it to the flat earthers, except for every still image makes the Earth kind of look like a flat disc. So I don't know why you're doing that. I don't need an interview with the crew telling me how they eat soup out of a pouch. Take the camera to the window and shut up and just let me see it. I don't know, why isn't there something mounted on the outside that just constantly gives me video of the Earth? Show me something with movement. Show me weather patterns moving on the Earth. Show me rotation of the Earth, zoomed out so you can see the entire sphere rotate. You really want to blow my mind? Show me some upside down flying planes. That's what Daddy wants to see. A skyline of a major city upside down with planes flying like that. That's all I want. And I'm getting none of that. And I suspect I will get none of that either. And we don't know what's real or what's fake. So I don't know why anyone's excited about anything they're seeing. This is so disappointing.
Deal. This is
sorry, remember that we used to have I'm still waiting for someone to give a nice technical scientifically response to why this astronaut is not able to get on his knees and stay in the ground and pick up the tool that almost killed him, because if you see how the hammer is hitting the leg and the foot, the shoe there is almost an instant dead. If you penetrate the suit, you are instantly dead. And the guy is just, okay, I go there, and I need to get on my knees to pick up the tool, and he is really making effort to do that. And well, the hammer, I going to live there, So we lost a hammer in the on the moon. And every time you can see these problems to get on the needs, sometimes they are able to stay on the need, and you don't need an equation to explain this. I mean, if you are going to trying to debunk the moon landings in the area of the math and science in terms of explanations based on the argument of physics and things like that, you have just a couple of possibilities. But if you are enter into the VFX and the image analysis, and that is a killing situation for the official narrative. You cannot address it by physics and math, because they have time to make some preparation. But when you start looking with VFX eyes, it's inconsistency. I mean, it's crazy. It's completely crazy. Or something like this, for example, I remember the Apollo 14, when they get the departure to the Earth. You have this, why the flag is bending, like if they are pushing a column of air, because nothing hit the flag, and then the rest is moving all over the place and in the vacuum of space. Why that happened?
Yeah, that's the excuse that I always hear, is that like they hit it, they moved it, and that because they're in space, the vibrations are way more impactful, whatever.
Well,
I don't see anything hitting anything.
I don't think any in the first frame. I don't see, and in the rest of the frame maybe, but that frame I don't see nothing hitting.
Yeah, look at that. That's crazy. Everything pops back.
There's no shadow of any object, passing near to the flag. I mean, and then we are used to the the official excuses are all over the place. I mean, they have excuses for everything, and and what are you gonna do if you want to believe in these type of things? Because remember that this was the technology in the 60s that supposedly they went to the moon. And of course, the excuse is no, well, but all the protection layers, it's inside of that spacecraft. That is just the outside, and they don't care about the outside. And you have all these type of answers, and it's crazy. I mean, if you want to believe that they went to the moon in the 70s and 60s, but still, at least in these ages, it was much better what they present to the public. They go really, when you see this, why this spacecraft is turning, supposedly via the thrusters. There are just why they have this mechanical movement, which is the same mechanical movement that you're gonna have if you're training with cranes. And they already show us how they train with cranes, and that is exactly the same movement that you're going to get if you are making these type of things. For example, when you move machines hanging on cables, it's the same movement when you are training. So all the time, if you compare simulation and you compare training, you're gonna have the same things. And you have the magical force from this astronaut that is jumping, hanging on the air, because the feet are not touching the ladder. It's just on the air with his arm, and then they correct, the position. And you have, at that time, you don't need CGI, you don't need digital compositing. That is why it's so bad. Of course, that they don't use CGI because they don't need it and they don't have it. So everything was miniature and just I think there was genius in terms of what they did at that time, without any computer systems and digital manipulation, things like that. But you have things that are pretty weird, and you don't need to explain. You don't need math to explain this strange behavior. That is my opinion, of course, right? So I don't know what they're gonna do with new moon landing in terms of when they supposedly go there and trying to land and show to the people that, well, we are here on the moon surface and we are going to start to build the the base to to have permanent people here. But I think they're going to wait to the AI get a little better, and maybe using AI to create real-time things without any waiting time in terms of the prompt. And of course, we are assuming that they're going to be live, but maybe they have everything pre-recorded. That was
the
most.
Well, I mean, why wouldn't they be able to set that up, right? I mean, like, well, what do you think though? So if they pre-record it, this is what they'd have to do, right? They have to pre-record, set up the AI, perfect it, and then they'd have to have rooms of people, I guess, just going through it, right, with like a fine-tooth comb to find any artifacts or anywhere the AI messed up, right? Because they got to be scared of like us, right? The public is just going to pick apart anything that they're doing. And this is the part for me, like if you just sit back and you just kind of like, just in a really simple, like chill perspective, like kind of like the guy was saying, everything that they do is just so weird. Like none of it makes any sense. They're just like trying to convince us that they're there the whole time. Like, why would you do that? They're like always trying to convince us that we're there. Did you see the news clip? There's a news clip I played at the beginning. Have you seen where? Yeah, like they're just all about like people think it's fake, especially with AI going on now. And what do we do to try to convince these people and blah 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 blah. And then they gave the excuse of like it would be more expensive to fake it. Like, dude, just like I try to always not be biased, like legitimately. I try to like because I do see people passing videos that have been doctored. I saw this with Antarctica too, right? Big time on the other side of it. And I'm like, oh, damn, I got to chill. And then I see like truth or traps. I feel like they push stuff out where it's like, it's not legitimate. So then it just discredits anyone questioning it. And I feel like people kind of have pareidolia sometimes. Like they really are trying to see something that isn't there. And that same thing is used to gaslight people, you know what I'm saying? But
I
try to like wipe my mind
for me.
Yeah, I try to wipe my mind, but like just on like an intuitive sense, dude, like just like the guy said, why are you showing us all this nonsense about how you eat and what you eat? And let's float bags around. And there's some Nutella floating around. It's just all so fake and gay. It's all so stupid to me. It's like very lame. And all we want to see, you said it perfect, right? What we would actually have is, especially with all these years and these different times they're going and they had to put off going back and walking. So now they're just going around it again. What they would have is a 24/7 live stream. And one of the angles would be just the vastness of space. You would just see like the beautiful like stars, right? 24/7. It would just always be there. Wherever they're turning, wherever they're going, you would see out away from the craft and you'd see all the stars 24/7. Whether that be up in the corner of the feed or it'd be a separate feed, or it would just cut to that feed every once in a while and they go back and forth. And we never get one single second of claimed like live footage of space.
Yeah, we nowadays we have a camera on the chest of a referee in the soccer game. I don't know if you ever see that. You have the actual GoPro here in the referee showing what the referee sees in the field, and NASA only put one camera outside, and that's crazy. And in fact, here, at least here in Argentina, there was a lot of guys that talk about how poor the live feed was. I mean, people that there are not conspiracy theories, the people that are not flat earthers, just mainstream journalists, and they say, well, I expected a little more, thinking about what they show us in the 60s, and there is like this sense of that like something that is missing, in terms of the time that we live in. I mean, in terms of technology, compared with the old 60s and 70s, and what they are presenting us in camera, in television, in screen. And that is something that a lot of people are start question. I think it's a nice time to keep pushing the pressure on these institutions, because for some reason they are always making the same stuff, and they are, I think, and again, I am more in the Spanish community, but a lot of influencers that represents the official science, they never even for 1 second thought that or think that they are going to be so much questioned about all this stuff of the shape of the earth, or the NASA live streams, or the NASA moon missions and things like that, because they are get comfortable in their area of talking about physics and science and things like that, and suddenly the flat earth movement appear in the arena, and people start putting the commentaries and start question these official narratives, and now it's crazy. I mean, right now, in every single post, it doesn't matter if it's X or it's Instagram or TikTok or even the official channel, you're gonna have a lot of commentaries from people that are flat earthers or conspiracy theory, and that's great. I mean, that's great, because I was waiting for this time to come, and that is why I trying to say that people don't relax, keep keep pushing to get more answers.
Yeah, I don't even see how they could get it back in the bag. I don't know if you saw this, but there was like this viral video where someone doctored it and they put like words in the plushie.
Yeah,
like,
and I think it was a Russian guy. Yeah.
Yeah, but check this though. Like, ignore that.
Did you see that? And I'm wondering.
Ignore that. But it's loading, man. What the? But because I have the original video as well, so
yeah, the hands, it's like messing with the image. I don't take, because I in all times when a lot of people showing glitches on the ISS, I don't like to analyze that type of thing, because they already have the answer for that, and that is just compression. It's live feed compression, and they can get away with that answer. But again,
did you see that right there? Did you see that? Tell me if you think this is if that would be a legitimate answer for this right here. Like, you watch where the orange strap is, and watch how how it interacts with the orange strap right there. Watch. You see how I can slow it, but the orange strap goes in front of it, even though it's in front of the orange strap.
Okay, can you play again?
Yeah,
I see the original or the viral video
on the left here. Watch.
Okay.
You see how the plushie gets blocked out by the orange strap, but it's supposedly in front of it.
Yes, I can you play again, because
my internet's tripping. It's whack.
I didn't see it. I didn't see so well. That is why. Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna play it again.
You are talking about down on the left corner.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, it just keeps freezing for some reason.
Yeah, supposedly that toy is in front of the straps, right?
There's like a split second if you slow it down where like the orange strap is like in front of it. It blocks out the plushie.
Well, that when you have low latency and you are the JPEG compression really low, you're gonna have these like blocks, and the image is like divided in so many blocks that some blocks are upgrading later than the other in milliseconds, I'm talking. And then you can have these mixed textures between
How they react.
and that is why I don't take it like a granted, like, okay, this is a real proof of this is a CGI object. I always say that I have just a couple of clips where you can really see how they fact the ISS. For example, the Mike Kelly moment where he's stuck, turns side down, and the guy is moving the hand and then go and touch a button, and you can hear the machines making, and you hear the button say with the noise of clack, and you see the cloth of the astronaut moving in 80 degrees. Well, that is something that you can, I don't know if you remember. If not, I can play.
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I would love to show it again. Because I mean, showing them faking stuff just one time. Just one time.
One time.
Stuff. But did you see? I don't know if you saw. You saw where they he says they almost look fake and it cuts out.
No. Let me see.
Check this. So he's talking about the stars and he's about to say they almost look fake and they cut the word fake out.
After that classic star question.
Do you still see stars in outer space?
Yeah, I was actually just talking to my crewmates about that today. I've definitely seen stars in outer space, and I was saying I haven't as many as I thought I would. So, Reed? We have so much illumination from the sun on the moon and the earth right now. It is hard at times to see stars. Just like when you walk out in the daytime, you see a blue sky but no stars. We look outside and we see the black space and no stars. But tonight we're going to be pointed into deep space, and we're going to turn out all the lights in the spacecraft for the first time on the mission.
Yeah,
give yourself about 20 or 30 minutes. We do this all the time on the International Space Station. Christina and I just have great fond memories of this. You'll start to see the stars, and if you give it enough time, you will see so many stars, it's hard to see the constellations because there are so many stars out there.
Wow.
And the coolest part of those stars is they do not twinkle at all. They are just perfect. They almost look fake. They're just perfect.
It says they almost look, and it cuts out the word fake. What's up with that? Why would they cut out that?
And remember that because this topic become viral in the press conference of today, just a couple of hours ago, they need to put that image and say, and the astronaut took this picture. So you have the confirmation that something weird again is happening with the topic of stars, and the NASA administration get a red flag and say, well, we need to calm down this topic,
So some little girl asks the star question, they give the sketchy answer, and then they immediately come out with the curated save the day picture. These are the stars.
Yeah. Here you have in my feed you have I think it's the same. No, it's Christina Koch. No, the one on the right.
Don't know.
I don't know if she, but look the legs, for example, pack, and they get this surprise. This is something like in my scale is like a middle thing that you can put on top of other evidence, but this is not something direct confirmation that they are using.
What is that?
Well, something happened, but because you cannot see feet, you cannot, conclude something in terms of some wire inside. It's just because I don't know what happened on
something happened.
But something happened. Then you have, I think it's because here I have so many clips of the Argos system. I think maybe, this is a classic. But this is amazing. I mean, all the time they take a hand off a screen because it's covered with some object in the front, and he's making force here. And when he's going to, he's first levitating a little bit, like taking momentum, and then when he's going to go down, it's something like it's puff. And then when the most important moment is when you are looking into his face, and the face is like in the stars question about the stars inside the capsule. They are nervous. There's something wrong, trying to make this well, maybe nobody notice, and well, I'm going to make like nothing happen. And then we have this also, which the guy, one of the guys, and he's pushing the handle, and well, now I can relax, and I'm going to go down and bring the arms in front to and for example, I think this is the well, this is amazing. Remember that Thomas Pasquet astronaut, they use this patch and they put shenanigans and in one of the areas, and if you enter into his Facebook at that time, he's going to explain that lots of stories go into the name and the design of the patch. I will tell you only a few. The patch is shaped like a cupola, has six stars for the 6th member of the selection and sport to moto astronaut corps. The rest is secret. Awesome design by a friend, blah, 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 blah. And they play all the time, with this double sense. And this is a compilation where all the time they need to talk about, show me, and like trying to keep quiet the conspiracy theories out there. So all the time they need to prove us that they are there in space, right?
Quite a number of articles and people who theorized. So as far as some people believe that you're not really in space, you're just tranquilly in some sort of a hidden space on Earth. How do we prove to people that you are 500 kilometers above me? How do Parisians get convinced of that? Well, it's hard to fight against that sort of conspiracy theory. But what you're controlling, you can see, for example, how is it that I can do? We cannot do this in a hangar on Earth, for example. There's no anti-gravity machine.
We cannot do this in the hangar, and the neck it's almost cracking, and he cannot stay even at 3 seconds.
How is it that I can do? We cannot do this in a hangar on Earth, for example. There's no anti-gravity machinery on Earth.
It's such a unique, amazing experience. I think the fact that I took so many pictures up here is going to help me believe that I actually did it.
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in
And here it's something, because let me just skip forward and then go backward. Let me just go here to the mic here. Here is, and this clip, I'm still have the link to the official PBS YouTube channel. And now they cut off. That clip used to long like 40 minutes of interview. And now that clip, it's only 5 minutes, and they take away this part.
Wow, that's wild.
I'm gonna show later. So here is the famous, can you make a somersault group? Of course, and the first guy is going to go.
We can do
first
that, right?
With the hand here, not because he just is a Freemason, but also because they need to use. Remember that they have wires on the wrist, and you cannot open all the arms, so you just make all the time they close the arms. So he goes first, then I'm just forward this, and here you can see the first guy on the left is also with the arm weird. It's weird why he's not able to move the arm.
That's certainly not.
Look how much time he is moving downwards without open the arm.
As graceful
and then immediately
as it could have been.
And then they cross the arm. He smile.
That's why we usually hesitate to do those.
The other guy come first to the camera, maybe to cover something.
It's certainly fun to do.
I gotta say.
And then you have this guy here, the one in the lower right corner, that it's making like 3 turns.
At least
like
you're having some fun up there. You're not going to the Olympics with
then
that.
Another
keep
one.
the day jobs, guys, or night jobs.
Just there, he's going to stop, and always the arms is closing.
He's on this
and
mission.
He's going to look at the face. Again, it's weird. it's weird. I'm talking about this guy here. And now he put this, I don't know how to express in English, but the lips, it's like something is off, and he trying to not get laugh or smile. And now the red guy is going to help him, and he is going to extend the arms, like a cat trying to make maybe something inside the cloth, you can see here, without any reason, because he was making 3 turns with the arms closing, and then for some reason I'm going to stretch a little bit, and then and bring the arms back with the closed hands. So you need to, then I'm going to play all at once, because this is like a choreography. You need to individualize the different characters and see and then here is the sign. Why the red guy? Because remember that Mike Kelly, it's still upside down. I mean, we are looking at the other guys, but we have a really big problem with Mike Kelly. And then you have the red guy that is looking to the camera, and he's going to make like, I see it. Yeah, I see it. And for no reason, because you don't have any reason to do this, he's going to go to the wall, and he's going to press a button, and then you can see all the 3 things interact each other. What I mean is, you're gonna hear the sound of the click of the button, and then immediately, without any time delay, you're gonna hear the motor off screen, of course, and then you're gonna see how the cloth is moving, and the final touch is like something inside, it's scratching, and then you're gonna have Mike Kelly with his hand trying to, like something off is inside of my cloth. And the rest of the team, they just get quiet, and all the faces are, what's going on here?
Yeah, Miles, and I'll send you one of these bracelets.
I would like one. Thank you.
And then you have, that something happened inside there.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll send you one of these
Here,
bracelets.
I would like
What's
one.
going
Thank
on here?
Thank you to all of you very much. Appreciate your time. I know you got a busy mission ahead. You got the spacewalk ahead. And thanks to all of you.
So, and here, this is something that I saw at that time here on the screen.
Houston,
when they always ask for Houston, are you ready for the event?
Are you ready for the event?
And the guy is touching a button, and boom.
That's affirmative, Houston, ready for the event.
Yeah. I'm ready for the event. Now, if you compare, all the time he's touching something, he cannot stay in place. All the time he's making this monkery thing. And then all the time he's go off screen and touch something. I don't know what he's touching there. And when I don't know if I have here in this clip, but I didn't have in that clip. Sorry, but at the beginning, in this little lead here, he is with the arm extended, and he's do something. He makes something. He get in front. He touched something. And the camera switch, maybe a little quickly. And here you can see, like, what is that movement, man? I mean, again, this is a middle term in the scale, because you cannot see the feet on the ground, because the camera is only around the knees. But the Mike Kelly thing, it's you cannot explain this with logic. It's just a trickery. And then if you took that type of choreography, and you go back to this moment here you can see again the same thing. When they are being asked about making some somersault and that
Many
type of
pictures
stuff.
up here is going to help me believe that I actually did it.
You look like you're in a studio, maybe in Omaha, Nebraska or something. The shot is so clear. Is this a hoax? Are you really in space still?
Now, The first thing is the guy in the back here with the strips in the cloth. He's trying to find something. I don't know if can you put me in the camera so I can make my hand movement. This guy here, immediately he's going to move this arm, trying to find something on the door.
See the hair?
You know, first he left the hand, like the red guy, like I showed before. You know, let me go again. He is something like, hey, yeah. Then he's going to move the hand.
I don't know.
Don't pay attention to the front. Don't pay attention to the guy in the blue shirt. Just the guy's on the back. He's trying to make something with the hand on the door. You know, something.
Yeah, he's like reaching around, trying to find where it is.
Yes, exactly. Then they are looking off screen, something up here, some monitor or whatever they have on the roof.
Yeah.
And then why this guy here, it's moving the arm in this way, like something are skipping. I don't know exactly, because this is not the first time that I see that type of movement. And what are he's looking? What is he's looking? He's looking for the system up on the roof. And then, you know, again, why that woman is pointing with the finger something off or wrong on the roof?
Right where he's looking. They're all like, yo, look at the guy in the front, and then they're just being hella sus in the back.
Yeah, exactly. And then you're gonna have, the woman saying, hey, don't forget, touch that button or whatever. And the guy is completely off screen, making something that nobody asked to do. And then, again, that woman moved the left hand here, maybe trying to say something. And the guy in the back, he just relax and get back.
Oh yeah, I can do.
And he's keep doing something with the arm that we cannot see. And the woman is going to touch something on the roof again.
Can everybody?
And then we
slow down?
always
That was
remember,
really cool,
we
Chris.
all remember this. And remember that this is like the oldest sorcery or magical trick, which is distraction.
Sorcery, the use of power gained from the assistance or control of evil spirits. Whether employed for theatrical or more sinister purposes, the key principle of magic is the same.
You know, there's a word, misdirection, that's used by lay people a lot. It's a magical term, it's a term of art, and the way lay people use it is wrong, because lay people often use it as a synonym for distraction. Like, hey, look over there, do something sneaky here, and then you look back and the trick's done. That doesn't fool anyone. The way we use the word misdirection is kind of a curating of attention, giving the audience a story they can tell themselves that lets them not really know they were distracted. We're going to do a trick right now using misdirection.
In the words of magician T.A. Waters, misdirection is the cornerstone of nearly all successful magic. Yet to talk of magic, sorcery, and witchcraft as separate entities is nothing more than a play on words.
So remember that in the 90s, David Copperfield has the patent for levitation in real time, in front of a complete audience, maybe 2,000 people on the theater. And the guy, what is the only thing that the guy must be take care? It's about the arms. That like the arms are closing sometimes and then not open and make, you know, like a free movement all the time. So why we get surprised of 4 guys inside of the capsule without moving the camera, like, you know, floating on the air, when they used to do in the theater in front of 2,000 people in the 90s without any, you know, CGI support. So again, I mean, it's so and this is gonna be sometime, you're gonna come a time where it's going to end the this fakery, because they are going to get better with the AI and some other technology stuff that we cannot even think today. So you need to remember this and keep playing this type of video, because if they fool you once, they can fool you, many times they want, if you are not get your pants and make your homework. It's easy as that.
Yeah, it's crazy because like let me. So the problem that they have is they have to stand behind all the old stuff.
Yeah.
Right, because I mean, the only way I've even conceived of them trying to separate from that and disavow it, like implicitly, they'll never come out and like explicitly disavow it, but is like the shift to SpaceX or something. So it's like that's the trustworthy place or something. I can't even figure out any other way that they could do it, but really they can't do that either, right? Because people are like, well, what if you could really go there? Then they would never have had to fake it, right? And then SpaceX has been working with NASA this whole time, and SpaceX's official story is they couldn't even get to space until they gave full access to NASA and the federal government to all their computers, all that, right? So I think like the most important thing we can do is like what we're doing right now is just showing the older stuff and being like, yo, like we prove that they're faking stuff, right? Like for sure they have gotten in a studio and pretended to be in space, bro. Like that's just a thing. That's a thing. Like I didn't fake it. Eru didn't fake it. Like, I mean, crazy world we live in, they're doing like magic tricks, trying to trick you, thinking that they're in space. That's wild. Now we can just like be adults and talk about it. Like, why would they do that? Why would they fake going to space? I guess obviously logically one would think you can't go to space. At the least you could say like, oh, they don't want you to really know what's in space or something, you'd have to say something like that. But, I agree with you that like I would say we're already there, really, right? Like I didn't even keep up with this Artemis mission a ton, and some people I kind of curated some clips and I went through them with them before the stream, but I expect us to get to the point where you're just really not going to catch them slipping up. There's going to be like minor oversights, like stuff that you can't prevent, like or you just can't predict, like those two astronauts giving away that they clearly heard the question immediately. Like it was so obvious, but it's not, it's like there's plausible deniability, right? It's like someone can say, no, they didn't, I don't see that or whatever, right? So you get my point. I think that we're just going to get to that point if we're not already at that point. And so I think we've been saying it for a while, right? We've been saying like people need to figure this out right now. And because it's going to get to the point you just, bruh, like, of course they're going to be able to fake it. Just go watch a movie. Like, bro, we talked about that as well. Like, just look at Interstellar. What was that, like a decade ago? So
yeah, like that. We're getting old.
Yeah. So like, I will say though, I agree with you, man. It does seem like there's been a major shift in like the last few years. Like everybody's questioning it. It's just like, this makes me think that that's kind of been the case for a while. And it's just that X wasn't a thing yet. And once X had people like everyone just talking and throwing stuff around, you kind of get a little bit more of a real sentiment of like a real view of the public sentiment. You know what I'm saying? And it just seems like no one's buying it. So this whole like gaslighting us and acting like we're crazy and all that, it's actually the other way around. Like the people that are like crazy, like there's a small little group of people that are desperately clinging on to this, and they watch it and they start trying to make up excuses. Then there's like the vast majority of the public who just literally doesn't care at all. And the only way they even know Artemis is a thing is they've been pumping it on Fox News and CNN. So they're just like, oh, that's pretty interesting. And they hear our interview and then they just don't think twice about it. Because if another point I'll make is if you think about it, bro, like I saw it on the news, right? And they present it so casually. So it's like, if we were really doing what they're saying we're doing, it would be like insane. But we're not. And so it's just like, let's talk about what we're eating. And it's just kind of weird. And then people watch it and they just get caught up in the normal person, right? They're just like, yo, like, they're recycling their piss? Like, how are they eating? Are they just sitting there, no shower for like a week? That must be rough. Oh, there's only one girl. You're the only girl on there. That's like a locker room. That's just the normal person, right? They don't really care one way or the other. They don't really even think about it. And then there's like the group of people that at the least are skeptical. And in my opinion, it's like the biggest group of people are just the normal people that don't really care. And then the second biggest group of people are the people that are skeptical or know that they fake stuff and don't believe them. And then the smallest group of people are the people that like are 100% sure that they don't fake it and feel that they have like debunked the people who claim they do. Right. That's what my honest assessment is. So I think the CIA knows that. I mean, like they know the logistics. So I don't even know that we get to a place where they claim that they walk on the moon. I don't know why we would. I don't know what you think.
Yeah,
I think it's way too risky, right? Like they already kind of lost the battle, dude. Faking walking on the moon. There's just way too much risk to that. It's just the risk reward is not there.
Yes, I believe so. And I like this meme. It's in Spanish, but about what you were saying at the beginning. It's saying like flat earther looking how all the conspiracy become real, but not the flat earth. And this is a powerful meme because it's just a matter of time for those people, you know. And this was play in the Spanish community about Epstein files, because Epstein file used to be a conspiracy theories, like a Bilderberg group and things like that. So they are getting fun of us because it's like, oh, we are the sad people that every conspiracy become true, but not the flat earth. You know what I mean? And they don't realize that is the mother of the rest of the conspiracy, the flat earth. You know, the importance of the flat earth in terms of is overwhelming. And here is the full video that I downloaded, and thanks God that I did that. It's around 31 minutes, and here is all the talk with all the astronauts, things like that. And then this is the high quality, and here you can see this is not amplified the sound, but here is the official clip. And then you're gonna have that final moment where they're going to you know, and in fact, look, this guy here, the one is playing with the wrist all the time. They go here behind that wall and touch things, you know, like tiny things. And oh, what a casualty, he touched something and the guy in the back is start going down. You know, he touched something here and that guy, oh, magically, and then cut with an answer. You know, when the guy is going down. And then when they got back to the live feed of the inside the ISS, the guy is already, you know, getting down in the bag and things like that. So the final thing is this:
around with
when they ask for the somersault. Yeah, no problem. You know, right? Blah blah blah. I already showed this, but I'm going to get forward
to do those. But
and then you know, here is the guy is saying hello, and he goes, he looks something there, he goes and he press the button. He's not just a random arm movement. He press the button. Tack.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll send you one of these bracelets.
Yeah. Tack.
Yeah, Miles, and I'll.
And this is official clip. Now, if you're trying to find that official clip in the PBS news, it's already gone. And if you're trying
to make any sense.
Yeah?
Like, how does that make any sense? Well, like, why would they go delete it?
Well, this used to have, at least my last check was like, because I was preparing these things of for the Flat Earth conference, and I believe, I don't recall exactly, but 2024 that was still uploaded. And now, if you go to the official webpage, the video is not available. And if you go to YouTube and put the complete name of the interview, you're gonna have just little clips, you know, these little clips, and 40 seconds, and then it's gone. You cannot see, you cannot find it anymore, and you can
that's so like, I mean, Wait. Yeah, like wouldn't everyone just agree that they're obviously hiding something if they're like retroactively editing down the video and just so happen to remove the part where the guy is seen pressing a button?
Yeah.
This is a pretty big red pill for people, Eru, right? Like,
yes.
You know, we're living in a crazy time, man. I mean, like, we're living in a time where like the most like normie people in my family are accepting the fact that the world's most powerful people were caught on video doing stuff with children and are being blackmailed. You know, it's like that pedophiles like run the world and are all like, or basically like they're in the highest echelons of society, which is insane. That's an insane conspiracy, right? That there's like some Mossad agent and whatever. And that's like low tier on the list of things. We've known that for a long time at this point. My point is like, they just ushered that out. Like people know that. People know that just like everyday knowledge now. And so I would say that's really why people are waking up. You know what I mean? Like basically the work that people did, for example, exposing NASA like 7 years ago, 10 years ago, it's still valuable. The only thing was like the switch that had people go even look into these things. But I will say, dude, I still remember to this day when I found out that NASA was faking space. It changed my life forever, bro.
Yeah.
Changed my life forever. So because like, dude, because it's just, you're like, whoa, what? Up to that point, I didn't even really think about space. I didn't really think about them going to space. I really didn't care at all. I did like not believe the moon landing, but I didn't really think that they were faking stuff currently, right? And when I found out they were faking like going to space, I was just like, damn, it just changed my whole entire perspective on the world. So that means if a large amount of people are now accepting that, bro, I don't know about you, but when I found that out, it just like kind of like an earth-shattering thing because it's just so wild that these people are putting so much effort into just like doing somersaults and magic tricks, faking that they're in space. It's such a weirdo, random, you know what I mean? So it's just like wild and surreal. You would just think, why even fake that? I didn't even know that really existed. So then if you're logical at all, you're going to have to ask yourself, like, why are they faking it? Because it's not that popular. No one really cares. So like, what's the point? Why do they have to fake that? Why seemingly the government would be involved, of course, and that's a federal agency. So then why does the government want to fake space? What's the point in that? And then a lot of us got to this place where it's like, well, that those same people are the supposed only proof of that being how the earth looks, like where we live, you know, that whole narrative is based on those same people. Well, obviously we can't trust those people. Obviously those images can't really be relied upon if they're faking getting out far enough to see it. They're faking getting out not even close to far enough to see it. Right?
Yeah, it's not matter anymore of being wise and an intelligent person. You need to be honest with yourself. You have the abilities, you have the capacity, you have the intelligence, you have the logic, you have all the tools available around you to get into this topic. And it doesn't matter, it's not anymore about that kind of approach. You need to be honest with yourself. You need to recognize that we are living in lie, in everything. And maybe the flat earth was the last piece of the cake, which is amazing for me because it's bringing back all this spiritual world and this new world view, and that is why I'm keep fighting for this to I cannot imagine myself losing all that work that we make. I talking about in big terms. I mean, the Spanish community, the English community, and the new people that is getting on board. We are the only people trying to make something different. It's so it's so real, like that. I mean, for me, it's like a mission right now. I'm keep working with my studio. I make my stuff. But I'm dedicated like the whole day trying to find these type of things, and because for me it's very powerful. The message behind the flat earth is completely changed the life of the people. And then still, that is why I at the beginning I say it's a little sad that a lot of things happens in the last couple of years to Globebuster and things like that, but the amount of new people that it's coming, and for me it's a really nice surprised because we are still making conference, and the conference is all the time full with 200 people, 500 people, doesn't matter the country. And now they bring the childs to the conference, for example. And all the time, people are sending me messages via email or WhatsApp with looking the videos with their childs, like 10 years, 12 years, 14 years. And of course, everybody that know me, they know that I am not just talking about flat earth. I also trying to bring like the new Germanic medicine and things in terms of the health or alimentary, or no, how you say in English, the food style things, and trying to bring new values to the table, because we already see that we are controlled by satanic people. And yeah, of course, in NASA works, nice people. They are just part of the system. They maybe don't question anything, but in the hierarchy, we know what they are, and I cannot stop. At least I don't want to be a complice. How you say? I don't want to be a participant, shutting my mouth. In these times that we are living, if you keep silence, you are
got guilty by association.
Yeah,
exactly. An accomplice.
So to finish this just tiny thing, remember that Argos is just a matter of a button, and here you can see the guy at the beginning that is just make a switch, and this is the motor that you are hearing. This is the type of sound that you hear when the guy pressed the button and you hear. It's just the cable adjusting, nothing more than that. And in this tiny clip, the guy is closing the video, I believe. No, it wasn't. I think it's not this video. Well, there is a part where the operator is just took a switch and say, and turn off the system. And there is a button to calibrate automatically and things like that. And for me, one of the worst, and that show all this type of sorcery, is this old clip with that these four guys talking again, live stream and blah blah blah. And now it's going to come a moment when this woman is this is, by the way, is the woman that maybe you saw the clip when she's trying to speak in front of the public in open space, and she gets how you say that she has like a blackout, and boom, and the guys is trying to get it up. I don't know if you remember that clip. Well, then I'm going to find it, but that is the same astronaut. And here she's just speaking, and again she was asked about make these turns.
Check this part.
You've seen some of it.
Harness starts going off. Oh, crazy. Watch his arm.
It's fun to just float.
Now everybody is looking her, and again look the arm of the guy in the left.
Grabbing.
What are they trying to find with the hand?
Bro, that's crazy. He's doing the same thing.
The same thing.
Fun too.
Why he is doing that in that particular moment? Then he turns a little bit. She's still.
And he grabs the wire.
Like stuck there, so the guy is going to help her
on the other side.
A little bit of time off earlier.
And now the guy in the right, he's looking all the bad performance from the astronaut woman. So he's start saying, okay, something's going to be wrong here, because I can see, I don't know, all the system mess up there. So I'm going to need to make something.
And
here is the, look how they look each other. That is very, very suspicious. Take a look.
And then he grabs the wire.
The guys,
on the other
side.
The
two guys.
Earlier, and I think
what
Mr. Clay.
Look, now he tries.
Now he's looking for something to distract.
And
why in the hell he have a baseball in the pocket?
Wait,
we were
with
playing.
a-
And why he's so hurried? I need to take out my ball from the pocket right now and start misleading.
Yeah, look at his face right
the
now.
attention.
Look at his face. He's literally freaking out. So
It's freaking
dude,
fucking
they both
out.
look at each other like oh, you know what I mean? And then he
Exactly.
just freaks out and pulls the ball out.
Exactly. So now let's make the exercise to don't look the woman, don't look the one, just look the guy trying to mislead you with the ball. Like, hey, look at here, look here, look here, look at I play with the ball. Oh, that's amazing. Look at how what and why he's going up. I don't know it still, but okay, I'm going to play with the ball, blah 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 blah. He's keep playing with the ball, but the woman is completely in chaos. So now let's take a look to the woman.
to distract us away.
So the woman starts falling down. The arm hits again, like
Grabbing the wire
okay.
again.
She's laughing, and again look the movement of the arm, which is like something like like she's stuck there.
They're pressing something on the
Again, she's
other side.
make this. Look at the spike here on the cloth in the shoulders.
Something on that.
Then
Trying
she
to get
get
out.
to the wall.
Press.
She's going to try to make a turn. She cannot do it. They have the t-shirts all upside. She's still trying to just get a normal position. And why she's must be do all that type of thing? And here has the last pack. Like, and then
Bashes into the
back to a wall.
Did you see that?
And now I can stand up.
was
And
pulling
again,
her
the
back?
arms, again, that arm trying to reach something on the wall. And now everything is get
So check
normal
this
again.
She
So
starts rising up.
if you are able to present this in the court, what do you think is the judge is going to say? All the clips, especially the Mike Kelly clips, starting with that to understand the system. And then you have this middle scale evidence. Because here we cannot we cannot hear the sound, we don't see the hand touching any button, nothing like that. But you need to assume that because all this is completely insane. All this is weird. This is not, you cannot defend this in terms of equations.
Yeah, like if someone defends it, bro, I don't even care about.
No, of course, I understand.
Because it's just weird. I can understand the other stuff. There's
the
lots of questions.
The verdict is weird.
Yeah, it just like if you can't be like, dude, they're acting hella sus, then I don't even you got that. Yeah, dude,
Yeah.
that's totally all normal. It's totally all normal. There's a lot of super chats for you, by the way. I can't read this one. Can you see it?
Yeah, I say, he's talking about the Mike Kelly when he get upside down, and he said you can notice the pressure in the blood on the face because he started taking like a little red on the head when he was upside down. Yeah. And this is all guys from and thanks by the way, because I was announcing in my YouTube channel community feed that I'm going to be here talking with you. So this is guys that follow me in my Spanish channel. So thanks for being here too.
Yeah, much love to you guys. Thanks for coming and kicking it. Thank you so much. I saw another one for you, man. I'm just gonna...
And that is another one. Very generous.
Yes, thank you guys so much. Very generous. I have to scroll up and individually find them, which is really fun. But I saw someone else saying what's up to you. So you announced that your homies came and supported you, man. There you go.
Okay, another one. He said, "This is all super relevant. How are you?" Hello, man. And no, this for me it was it's very nice to be talking with you again. I miss you.
I know it's been so long, bro. How long?
Yeah.
It's been a long time.
And that's why I agree with the people that wrote in the chat at the beginning of the show that I think everybody miss you. You are a very intelligent guy, and you are having a lot of arguments, and we cannot have the I don't know how to say in English, but I think we need people like you get fighting for the not especially for the flat Earth as a unique topic, but all the information that you always give us is very valuable.
Thank you, man. Thank you, man. Yeah, like it was crazy just being away that long, bro. I don't know. I mean, it wasn't planned, that's for sure. I didn't really have a choice. But yeah, it's just been a while. It's been a while. I'm a little rusty.
Yeah, I understand what you say.
Yeah.
When you
rough,
are in the road,
rough year.
Yeah. It's very easy. You just make some research and keep some links in the I don't know how to say, in the pocket, and then you live stream and start talking, and everything comes very, very fluid. But when you get off, it's a little hard to. Well, you think it's a little hard, but you just pressed live stream, and you have 500 people listen to you, and all the time you are going to have something to present and give your opinion. I think the most valuable thing is the opinion based on the information, and they keep they as a system they keep making a lot of stuff, so you have a lot of topics to address and give your opinion.
Yeah, man. Yeah, the world's crazy, bro. Like what's going on in the Middle East is crazy. It's just it's like we're living in a movie. The president's talking about
poof.
Open the effing straight. We're gonna put 80 million people without power. It's just so crazy. Honestly, that's a whole topic, right? But the world's crazy, man. The world's crazy. Like we live in a movie, legit. It's just like Trump is like a movie character or something. So I had to come back, and things finally lined up in a way that like I knew I was good to come back. So it's kind of perfect timing in a way, because the world is just like gotta get its stuff together. I really don't know what you think about all that, right? But like in my opinion, these are major moves. These are major moves that are being made, bro. Like I like Epstein. Obviously, they didn't show us really much of anything, right? I mean, they kept like the official story is they kept 3 million of the 6 million. They still redacted all the people that actually were guilty, right? And then they were pulling stuff offline once people were catching it. And so it's like weird. It's like, well, you guys seem to rush it out without being fully prepared, but you kept 3 mil. Why did they do that? And then you see kind of why they did it, right? Like, look, like they have bigger plans. They don't really care. I don't really know. I don't really know why they did it. But anyway, it's just a very surreal moment. So there's obviously like a major awakening happening. And like there's like kind of two ways to view that. Because like once we get to a certain point, I mean, what do they do? I mean, and so that's why I was talking about like, energy lockdowns, climate lockdowns or something. Like they may try to pull something crazy with the, energy crisis, manufactured energy crisis. And so we we can't be traveling so much, and who knows? But
2030 agenda, of course, is on the road, and they have another ones, that's for sure. And I don't know exactly what they're going to plan, but in the near future, supposedly they're going to establish a new financial system based on carbon footprint, and all the restriction via digital currencies and things like that. So yes, they're going to play some, like the war on Iran is completely religious war. It's not based on any, well, secondary things could be, of course, the energy crisis and things like that. But the guys that supports Donald Trump are all evangelics and things that believe that the third temple must be built and things like that. So it's really difficult to see what is the excuse if the oil of the third temple, I don't know. But in the near future, I think that we're gonna experience like a China multiplied by 4 in terms of the restrictions and the digitalization of our life. That is something that we need to address, and trying to make our own life way of that, or living way out of that.
You gotta find a way to be able to, man, like live independent of it somehow. You know what's crazy, man, is I don't know if you've heard this. I fell in this rabbit hole recently, but like I think that the amount of people that's claimed to be on the earth it's like over double what's really here. Like I think it's like over double. Like in
Like
China alone,
15 billion people.
yeah,
Something like
it's
that.
insane. No, in China alone, they claim there's like over 1 billion people.
Okay.
How many people they claim in China?
Like two more, like, because you are different, like we call billion, you call, I don't know if
I say 1.4 billion
yeah,
in China.
okay, yeah.
So in like, I'm just because I don't know if you ever heard of this. This is wild, dude. Like, so you get to like the 50s. That's when the Communist Party takes over in China, and there's like 500 million. Now that's just like what they claimed then. Okay, 500 million. And of course, the CCP, they take over. They're in control of everything. Right, it's just like dictatorship, right? They just control of all information, all access to information, all official statistics, all that. They do the one child policy.
Yes, I remember.
And they have that in place for 6 decades. And they claim that in that 6 decades, they went from 500 million to 1.3 billion. No, like
with the one child policy, it's a little strange.
You know, because obviously just to kind of keep it even, right? You know, you got 2 parents, you need like 2 children. If you want to have or you need 3 to do that increase in population, you have to have 5 children per Chinese woman since the 50s, and they had a one child policy, bro. So that's a whole lie. So they maybe have 500 million. So just imagine that's one. India is like another huge rabbit hole. India is like totally lie. Total, like the population of India is totally not what they claim it is.
Yeah,
And
supposedly
so,
1 billion. Supposedly 1 billion.
Yeah, supposedly. So I haven't gotten as far with that one to know the exact number. I would say maybe it's like half again. So just think about that. We're a smaller amount than we think, and we're much more powerful than we think, right? Because like, look at all the effort that goes into manipulating the world and how much they have to like orchestrate to put us, like, get us into control. I think it's like immensely beneficial to them for us to think there's way more people. And you know, the Georgia Guidestones said like 500 million. You know, it says like maintain the population of humanity under 500 million in perpetual.
I remember the Georgia Guidestones that they are up. Yeah,
so I think that's not as many people dying as people think. It would probably still be a lot, obviously, but yeah. Anyway, I was totally random topic, but I think that everything is a lie.
Part of the show,
yeah. Everything's a lie, bro. Everything's a lie. The amount of people we think is out there, like what we think is going on with the countries, all that. But yeah, and I'm sure that we're on the same page with like these are like religious fanatics in the Middle East that are going to just kill everybody.
No, I think I mean I was covered before the Artemis. I was doing like 5 or 10 5 to 7 live streams talk about the religious part, because I don't know if you are aware that this Chinese professor become really popular in the YouTube. Okay, and he makes some nice points. I mean, I know there is people that saying that he is like how you say that, like control opposition, things like that. But I see the lectures and a lot of things I agree. In fact, he talks about NASA like a liar, a big lie, big liars and things like that. They don't address the flat earth topic, but the rest of the topics are really at least something that you need to hear. Not you, but I mean in general.
Yeah, I thought about trying to get him on.
Yeah, because he has good points to discuss, and I think he's on the track. But we are entering. For me, the most mystery thing is that we are entering in a new phase in terms of the robotics and artificial intelligence. We never experienced that in the as a world, and they have these policies about the population, they're trying to reduce the population and replace some of the works that humans do with these machines and the AI. And that's just, we are experiencing the beginning of that. So it's going to be a lot of challenge to, trying to overpass as humanity. It's the only thing that I can see. I mean, we are people that it's difficult to see, like 5-6 plays in the future. We are just guys that trying to, with all this information, trying at least to get information for the 2 or 3 plays in the future. I'm talking about plays in terms of the chess, right? And the normal people, the NPC people, I think they are just living the present, not in the in the spiritual way, but trying to, they don't even think in a lot of in the light that they live. I mean, right now, remember that because we enter in this type of topics, this is my opinion, we are alive because we don't participate the COVID thing. We don't get the shot and a lot of things. And then I'm still see people that has secondary effects. I'm still seeing people getting suddenly die in the gym or walking on the street, things like that. And if you make a statistic or if you make like how you say, statistic, how many conspiracy theories die based on the shot, I think you're going to be surprised, because it's going to be a really, really small amount of people, and that was because maybe, like in my case, like 20 years ago, I enter in the conspiracy theories. Of course, I get through all the, blah, 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 and yada, 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 like Bob used to say, of topics, because we all mess, with things like alien, UFOs, Bigfoot, and all that kind of stuff. That is part of how the metrics work. If you study the tarot, I don't know how to say in English, you have in the 20 arcanos, you have how the matrix works in terms of all the things you're going to get past to get better in terms of make the information, use the information that you receive. And of course, you're going to have these first approaches, like you are become like the flat earth. I remember when I started research flat earth, it was like 5 days in a row, 20 hours looking information, get crazy, accept everything that I see. And then with the, when the experience, when you get experience, you're going to leave something at the side and keep others and trying to, make the better decisions, better choice. But at the end of the day, if I never get that adventure, maybe right now I was 6 feet under.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I feel like that was like pretty masterfully carried out, right? Because it's just a little bit of delay with how much like pseudoscience and misinformation, like how much we've been misled in terms of health and medicine. Bro, I mean, people just go there and get diagnosis from people that have no idea how the body works at all, right? And I'm not claiming to be some expert or something. I just know that mainstream allopathic medicine is stupid. So my point is, they have like 1,000 cover stories for everything. Almost every major diagnosis, it's a misdiagnosis, and then like they still admittedly don't even like understand cancer. And then there are a lot of people who would tell you that we do understand cancer and it can be cured in multiple ways, and they'll just never hear from them. And so my point being that it's very easy to just, for all of the side effects to get lost in the sauce. And you saw a resurgence of people like calling it out, like doctors and stuff. That's kind of died down. And so in a way, like we kind of have forgotten like the massive psyop that was, like the amount of
Yeah.
trauma that
Yes.
was.
Yes.
Dude, just trauma, bro. And like the children growing up, they're just, I mean, just a different generation now. And we just forgot. We forgot. So I mean, I'm not saying we literally forgot, but I'm saying like it seems like so long ago, right? Where something like that, if that had happened in the 50s, it would have been talked about for like the next 20 years. Now it's like maybe 2 years, and then we're on. It's every day is something insane. Every day is something. Just go read Donald Trump's tweets one day, and that's like earth-shattering news for a year, 2 decades ago, a decade ago. So it's kind of crazy to think that they got away with it. For all intents and purposes, they got away with it. One of the greatest transfer of wealth in history. I mean, that's what it was. The greatest transfer of wealth in history. You got trillions of dollars just moving around, and you got the major conglomerates taking it, major sectors kind of monopolizing, and then they transition us into the technological sectors that we're going to now, right? And they just like usher in the surveillance system, and it's happening right in front of us. And Trump is just doing it right in front of everybody, just openly, right? So they
And
kind of have
in every
set it up.
country, they do the same. Huh? It's not just Trump. Maybe
No,
Trump
yeah,
is
that's true. That's
the
true.
head
Absolutely.
in terms of the public affairs, but in every place is the same.
Yeah,
That
it's
is what
crazy.
it's crazy. Yeah, yeah.
So
We
what
are
do you think
living.
about this? Like, I heard Australia would be like disproportionately impacted by like issue with oil in Iran, for example, and they are like abnormally reliant on oil actively for their electrical grid. Australia, something like 80% of it could go dark very quickly because of the energy crisis. And that would be crazy, right? Because Australia was like one of the first places, if not the first place, to really just go crazy with the totalitarian, like shut everything down. And they were in lockdowns way longer than everyone. People just didn't even realize it because like they're over there, right? And they have all these rules for way longer than we did. So I hope that I'm completely wrong about that, bro. But that would be crazy. You have the perfect cover with the war, manufactured energy crisis, have Australia be the first ones hit, have them roll it out, the totalitarian energy lockdowns. And then they're going to be like, two birds, one stone. I thought they were going to use the climate thing, and I thought they were going to use a bunch of like weather weapons and make us think like
Yeah, that
day
is in the
after
front
day after
page.
tomorrow.
Yeah, that is the front page of every major news journalist or mainstream media. Here is also the same thing about talking about the climate change is something that is all over the place. In 2025 in Madrid, in Spain, they have a problem with electricity. It doesn't matter if it was something made on purpose or not, but the real thing was like the whole city shut down in terms of the electricity around 8 hours with people inside the elevators, people that was trying to buy food. And of course, they only have a credit card or electronic devices. And for some people, that was a test. But the real thing is that in only 8 hours, the city get crazy because they don't, for example, the stores, they don't want to sell any more things. It doesn't matter if you go with cash or not. Of course, if you only have electronic devices, you cannot pay. So the guy is saying, no, I cannot give you this water bottle because you cannot pay me. And if you go with the cash, they don't even want to sell you because they don't know how much time is going to be off grid, things like that. And that was a tiny test of 8 hours in one city. So if you extrapolate that to a country, especially like Australia, that they don't have anything around it, it's like an island in the middle of the Pacific. That could be a hard test to.
It's clearly the biggest weakness. It's like the most obvious plan of attack. It's like, I mean, there are mainstream videos talking about.
Sorry for interrupt you. Is the much easier? If you want to get crazy, if you want to make it like a purge, you just turn off the grid and everything is over.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, they may not want that, right? They may not want that. I think that they do siphon off of us. They use us a lot. They may not want like true chaos across the board, right? Like a destruction of a lot of the stuff that they built and they had us build. And they're just utilizing us to just amass, crazy power and control and wealth and resources, and they kind of keep the system running that way, right? And so that would be the only reason that they had not done something like that. If they being, these powerful groups of people, I do think there's infighting up there. I don't view them as like some monolith of thought. I also don't view them as some like ultra superior group of people intellectually. I think that they are more intelligent. They know what not to give their children and how to raise them, and they get access to good information, all that. But I think just like from a genetic aspect, I don't think they're like just like demigods or something. No, like I don't really like respect them in that way. Okay, but to stay on what I'm saying, I think that they want the system, right? Like they helped to build it. They used us to build it. But if they want to reset it, bro, if they want to fully reset it, if they want to like really kind of, drop the population down, like hold the herd, cool the herd, whatever it's called, just knock the power off for 2 weeks. I mean, 2 weeks.
Yeah, no, 1 week. I think the people is going to get. I cannot even imagine. Of course, there is a lot of movies out there that, and all the time is creating this new series. There is a Spain, actually a Spain series that talk about the people that has power and money. They go underground to these bunkers, and outside is a complete chaos. But then in this series, the final chapter showing you that there was all a false narrative to get the money from the rich people, and out there nothing happened. It was just made. They had a movie maker, and so he filmed like a false apocalypse, and with that they convinced the rich people. It's a nice story, but I think that when you see this type of movie or read this type of apocalyptic books, they just, it's like a master plan, just in case they need to use. So they trying to, that is like the same thing of the moon landing. They put these things in science fiction and books. They create movies like a training thing. It's like a tutorial, So if you take a couple of topics, even in the official website of the Club Bilderberg or this type of powerful groups, they are talking about that, a transition to electronic control via the CBDCs, via the surveillance. If you go to London, for example, if you just watch the news on in London, they're crazy how much of cameras they get in the supermarket, in the streets, in the houses, every place. You are scanning all the time your faces. I think United States could be the same thing. Here in Argentina, we are still a little bit lower in this type of surveillance, just in metropolitan areas, not maybe all around the country. But they are heading towards that Gnostic technocratic system.
Yeah,
because they cannot leave aside the religious part. That is for sure. But they are trying to transform. If you remember that every time they talk about AI, is related with a new religion. Like the AI makes a god. Is they going to have all the question and all the answer? We can even, maybe canalize a demon or an entity from other planet, but in our computer, in our quantum chips. So it's like a technocratic Gnostic system they are preparing for the next generation.
And AI is kind of retarded, bro. Like it's like good at doing tasks and all that, and it's able to compile a lot of information that we would otherwise have to go research and learn. But it itself is kind of retarded, right? Like I don't like.
Well, they are waiting for the general AI. That is what they call. Because remember that we are only 2 years using.
Oh yeah, I don't dispute that it'll be insane, or what they already have is insane. There's like a lot of rabbit holes with this, right? Where if you were to find a way to integrate the surveillance system with a computer utilizing AI that could process all the information simultaneously, and just we'll call it quantum computing, and that's like a whole conversation about like how they lie about a bunch of that, and then a lot of it's pseudoscience, whatever. But this is an etheric realm, and like there's a lot of crazy things that happen. There's instantaneous action at distance. Everything's interconnected. There's all kinds of different modalities of every single component of energy, right? That they name all these little particles, but it's everything is the same thing, just in different forms. So yeah, you could do some crazy stuff with computing. Like, and if you fall in this rabbit hole, it's like, how did they even come up with computing? And if you really look into some of it, it's like a human brain didn't. It's like insane. If a human brain came up with that, it makes no sense. Even like the initial equations of like electrical field theory, nah, bro. Like that, like it just doesn't make sense. And if you look into like computer chips, it's insane, right? And so they're tapping into something, in my opinion, that's kind of building this system. And imagine if there was a figure, right? Which, I mean, all these belief systems are pushing you towards the idea that there's a figure, a central figure, an individual, right? That's going to like come save the day and kind of reign and have power and control, right? And so the Christians will say that that's like going to be an antichrist. The Jews say that's a Messiah. The Muslims say that there's like a Dajjal antichrist, and then there will be the real Messiah. The Christians say then there will be the real Messiah. So you have like a figure popping up, and I mean, in my opinion, it would be insane if you could use something like a Neuralink connected to the surveillance system of utilizing AI. I mean, so you're talking about everyone's phones, everyone's Ring doorbells, like the Skynet, everything, right? Like, meaning we think about it like the government using it, but imagine like individuals being able to use it. If they could merge themselves with the AI, I guess what I'm saying, you could be a god of sorts, right? Like that's what, like, I think that's what some of these crazy people would want more than anything.
And you cannot forget the nice flavor of the blue bean, because if everything this happen, of course that entity is not going to come from the sky. It's going to come from other planet or other galaxy or things like that. Because right now, maybe because it was a little bit out of the of the YouTube thing, but remember that a couple of months ago they announced the age of disclosure, the documentary, and now everybody is waiting for the movie, the age of disclosure, but the age of I don't know how is it, the Steven Spielberg movie that there is all over the place, the age of revelation, something like that. So they don't forget, they are not misleading the idea of keep pushing the alien agenda. In fact,
you're on point here, dude. Maybe that's all Artemis really is. Artemis is just getting people's mind back onto the idea of space, right? That's all it is. It's like getting it back into consciousness of the public. And then, I don't know, like they run into aliens, they try to go again, aliens do something, whatever. I think I sorry to interrupt you, but I think that just like clicked in my mind. Like, yeah, duh. I don't know why I was like AI. I mean, aliens is the ultimate move. That's why flat Earth is the one thing that they can't deal with at all. Just the truth that they're faking space. They can't tolerate that at all. Zero tolerance policy there. I guess I overlooked that because like Trump, you saw Trump come out, right, and say they're like this. I guess Obama came out and he was asked about aliens, and he basically said like they were real.
Yesterday.
And then Trump came out and said like he demanded them release everything.
Yeah, and in fact, I am sharing screen right now, and this was in Forbes breaking news 3 days ago. And of course, the question to Isaacman is about. Sorry for the audio. What's going on? I think it's the. No, it's something with the. I'm going to put Portuguese. No, and why is I'm not hearing the? Sorry, it's here. Okay, and this is the administrator of NASA 3 days ago, and so 3 days ago it's still the Artemis going to the moon.
Antes de ir, senhor, seria negligente da minha parte não fazer uma pergunta em nome dos...
Oh, but sorry, man. It's keep Portuguese. So even me can understand that.
Before you go, sir, I would be remiss if I didn't ask a question on behalf of the millions and millions of Americans interested in space exploration, at least in part to solve the mystery of whether we are truly alone in the universe. Does the prospect of alien existence factor in at all into how we plan NASA missions?
I would say it goes to the heart of many things that we do at NASA. I mean, our job here is to go out and try and unlock the secrets of the universe. And one of those questions is, are we alone? So I would say that is inherent in every one of our scientific endeavors, our exploration endeavors. Even building the moon base on the south pole of the moon at some point, we'll be able to incorporate telescopes that will help us continue this great search, not to mention all the subsequent telescopes that we're going to launch, like I mentioned, Nancy Grace Roman. So it's inherent in our mission.
Are we alone?
I've been to space twice. I didn't encounter any aliens up there yet. I have not seen anything to suggest that we've been visited by any intelligent life forms out there. But when you think about it, we got 2 trillion galaxies out there. Who knows how many star systems within each of it? I would say the odds that we will find something at some point to suggest that we are not alone are pretty high.
Administrator Isaacman, thank you so much. Congratulations prematurely, but so far on a mission going so great, and happy Easter to you and your family.
So there you have it. And then you have this was from News Nation 3 days ago. President Trump said there is classified UAP information, Avi Loeb, News Nation. I mean, this agenda is really, really on the track. They don't forget, remember that the NASA Bluebeam project is all about establish a new Messiah. And the new Messiah cannot be from the sky, man. I mean, they must be from the X6 4000 galaxy. You know? And we have the technology to receive the message and to receive the intelligence. And yeah, that's a narrative that they still keep pushing.
Yeah, dude, that's what like we've known about it for so long that like for me, like it falls to the back burner. It's almost like that meme where like the stick figure has a stick in his hand. He's like poking the Illuminati pyramid. And he's like do the alien invasion, you know, like we're tired of waiting. And it's like, that's almost like cynical, but dude, it would be so effective. It would be so effective, dude, because even the people that don't believe in space, they believe in interdimensional beings. They, you know, if you find out about like that this is an etheric realm, you're like, okay, well, there's a metaphysical. So like, it's not like you're immune to it. And yeah, I mean, they could just present themselves.
Your vice president, he gave a lot of talks talking about demons. I don't know if you heard it. J.D. Vance is when he asked about what do you think about the UFOs, he said, I think they are not from other planets, but it's from another type of reality, and I think they are demons. That is what he said. And
I didn't know that. I did not know that.
Yeah.
Tucker Carlson says that a lot, who is obviously CIA.
Also, yes, Tucker Carlson too. And the only thing that I think I found the only industry that shares the same technology with NASA, and that is the military when they point it to a UFO. Because people are still believing UFO with this type of images from
what's up with that? But what about when they come out with, all they have to do is just come out with something better. That's all they got.
No, it's big because I think NASA and these military planes are using the same cameras, you know?
Yeah.
They use the same technology. It's the only two worlds or industry that share the same advanced imagery techniques.
Okay, so we can kind of see the writing on the wall, right? So we got the conflict in the Middle East, which is a religious in nature, which means it's never going to end. We have everyone knows what's about to happen. If you're paying attention at all, Al-Aqsa Mosque is going to get hit. At some point in time, that mosque is going to get hit. It's the third most important, religious, whatever building, whatever, in Islam, right? That's where Muhammad supposedly ascended to heaven. And so now the Shiite Muslims that don't get along with the other Muslims, it doesn't matter. Like they're all Muslims. They all believe Muhammad ascended to heaven there.
I think your sound is gone, or is something like it's a problem of mine.
Oh, you can't hear me? Dang. Can you hear me now?
Now, yeah. Now I can hear you. Yeah. Sorry.
Basically, just like there's the mosque, right? And it's really important to Muslims. That's where Muhammad supposedly ascended to heaven. And if it gets hit, all the Muslims unite, because like it doesn't really matter if they dispute with each other, amongst each other, about different things. Like they all agree Muhammad ascended to heaven there, right? And Israel comes out, says Iran did it. All they do is present proof that Israel did it. They've already dropped bombs close to it. They made everyone move away from there for Ramadan. That's one major thing, in my opinion. Now we're talking something crazy. Now we're talking there are Muslim countries that have quote unquote nuclear bombs. You know, Israel is like the only country that everyone knows has nuclear bombs, and then they don't have to, like, okay. And just I don't know your take on this. My take on the nuclear bomb thing is like there are crazy bombs. It's just like the whole radiation thing, that's a lie. Like the fallout for decades and stuff, none of that's real. They lied in World War II when they claimed they dropped them. And then the very science that they claim it works on is a lie. But they have extremely destructive weapons. And I believe that it could be like nuclear in nature, right? Like, meaning like it isn't completely fake, but it is definitely lied about. And it's like the boogeyman. And it may be, it may be like largely fake. I don't know, right? But Israel claims to have them, is my point. They don't have to, no one has to drop anything. Like all they have to do is say a nuke was shot somewhere, and then how are you and I going to prove it did or didn't? Like, we're not. We're just going to go on YouTube, and then a normal person is going to go on the TV, and we're just going to be like, what happened? I mean, that's just all we can do. That's all we can do. And we're watching right now, like, it's insane how much governments control information. We're watching like Israel not let footage come out of there for like over a year now, just straight up, you can't release footage. And then Iran just like goes black, no internet basically. And the government's not really, I mean, they blame it on us. Who cares? The point is that there's the people that don't really have internet. And then you got people over here in Israel not being able to release stuff because they're going to go to prison for up to 5 years. So it's that easy to control the information. So it doesn't really matter if they drop a nuke, they don't drop a nuke, how real the nuke is, whatever. The threats of the nukes are crazy. And that is a perfect cover story where we've like heard this story dozens of times, right? The aliens are going to swoop in because we're about to destroy ourselves. Right. And so them pushing us towards this. Yeah, dude, it's like the perfect cover. In my opinion, that's probably the most probable thing. Is like stuff gets so crazy, we're destroying ourselves. Now there's threats of nukes, or someone shoots a nuke. Supposedly America, to show off, right? Like they tested a nuke off the coast a few weeks ago, like, and
I don't hear about that. Okay.
Yeah. And like, who knows, right? I don't. The nuclear bomb thing is hard to get to the bottom of, meaning like knowing exactly what type of weapons they're using. But dude, knowing what we found out about like the way the world really works and the ether, bro, like in energy, it's infinite, bro. It's infinite. You could have a weapon do something insane, dude. Tesla's talking about like an energy death beam, in the early 1900s. So who cares what the weapon's called,
Yeah, something that I don't agree not with you, but with the narrative, official narrative, that they don't have the power to intercontinental missiles. I think they have a medium range, but you cannot send a missile directly from United States to Iran or Iran to United States, things like that. I think they are still not capable to manage that type of long range missile. But like you said before, I am in the same track of you. I think they have maybe weapons that we don't even understand, but they don't have this massive destruction missiles or bombs, in terms of that you can create a winter winter disaster, nuclear winter, and everybody going to die. And no, that I am not by that. But they can use whatever they have in their hands to push their agenda, especially the prophecy agenda. That for sure. I don't know if they're going to do that, but they
It
can
looks
do.
it looks like it, bro. It looks like it, right? Like
We never been so close of that.
No, dude. You know what's crazy, bro? Is like I covered this on my comeback stream, but like, so in the Bible, you have Daniel 11:45 talking about the Antichrist, and it says he'll build his palace in between the holy mountain and the sea, and the holy mountain is Jerusalem, you know, and then you have the sea right there, right in between there is Gaza. Literally, Gaza is right where Daniel 11:45 says the Antichrist is going to build his palace, basically like the Antichrist headquarters, right? And then what do you have Trump doing? Trump putting Jared Kushner in charge, like with $28 billion to build new Gaza. And they're talking about it like people didn't just live there and they didn't just do an ethnic cleansing in front of the whole world for 2 years straight with everyone literally watching it. And then they just displaced those millions of people. And I was like, go on and on about this. They just displaced 1 million people in Lebanon. They clearly are doing the Greater Israel Project, right? And I mean, that prophecy says the whole world gets pissed at Israel and turns on them and then like literally goes to fight them because they've had enough, right? And then they start to get rocked. So the thing is like the prophecies do start to split off, right? Like they overlap a lot, but then they do split off. And so it would be interesting to see if there's a script component to it, what script did they go with, all that, right? Because you have these like conflicting narratives and then you have large groups of people on each side, blah, blah, blah. But that's why sitting here talking to you, the other alternative makes so much sense, which is swooping in the aliens. So you're talking about your idea is that Blue Beam is how they would fake like a return of a Messiah or like some type of Messiah figure, right? So,
well, they cannot bring right now, nowadays, I think it's impossible to bring like incarnated being, like a human being, and say this is the new Messiah. That is my opinion, of course. I think we are not going to accept that as a whole community of humanity. I think there's going, because they are programming in terms of our generation. Of course, this is something that is not going to happen, at least in my opinion, in the next 10 years or 20. I think they're going to wait until maybe 2 or 3 more generations when they accomplish the idea of those new generations embrace like a God technology. So for me, they're going to make this new Messiah based on technology and not based on, okay, we conquer the Middle East, we conquer Jerusalem, we defeat the Muslims, and we bring back the third temple, and now that is the prophet, the prophet, and somebody like you, like me, walking around, like a human being. I don't think that is the plan. I think they're going to use this idea of some alien, and maybe not someone in the sky, but maybe we receive the message, we receive, like in the old days, but now we are going to able to receive that in a quantum computer, and who knows the technology that we are going to have in the 30, 40 years, even 100 years, in the next 2 generations.
Yeah, that's interesting. I mean, 30, 40 years, I hope they're trying to wait that long to pull something off, because like I think we just kind of, human nature is to adapt, and like, so
sorry, Austin, but think how much they take time to get back to the moon.
Yeah, for sure. Well, yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, think about what has happened in the last 6 years. The last 6 years, that's the fastest I've ever seen them move. I've never seen, if you look back through everything they've done, I've never seen them move that fast. Like, people kind of overlook what happened. The world will never be the same. They basically they changed it to where like 70% of people just work from home, and then they just kept working from home. Like that just became the new norm, right? And then they literally transferred all the wealth, like trillions of dollars. And then what they did was say, oh, well, we got to be prepared for this next time, right? And so they just went crazy building the surveillance system, right? And so it's in place. That's like the biggest move. I mean, I would have never thought they could do that fast. I would have thought that that would have taken like a couple decades, slowly moving us towards like digitalizing everything. I mean, dude, we're like one step away. I mean, they could wake up tomorrow and tell us like, okay, we're digitalizing the dollar, right? Like, because like we're already ready. The technology exists, and now they have these surveillance system everywhere. Now, I mean, I agree. They really plan ahead, and it isn't like them to rush stuff. And then COVID seemed rushed, and then it was like, it looked like it backfired, and a lot of people woke up. And maybe that's why they don't rush things, because it's too risky. I don't really know. But just to see that seamlessly transition, and Trump is clearly like the trump card. So I more so, I'm not interested in making predictions per se. It's more so just like throwing alarm bells out there about like possible things that could happen that we should like look at, right? And it's like, it's really weird to me that there's a novel written in the late 1800s called The Last President, and he ends up being the last American president. They go protest it in New York, right where Trump lives. Same guy writes about the adventures of Baron Trump, and like the master's name is Don in there. Like, how does that even make sense? And I think it's like not physical. Like, I think that there is like a metaphysical component to it, right? Like, I think that they tap into something metaphysical. If not, that's like incredibly, I mean, you got to give it to them. That's incredibly orchestrated. They are choosing the name of the children when they're born to play a specific character in the future, and then they are guiding their entire life. And that may be what they're doing. That may be what they're doing. They did that with Elon, right? It seems like they did that with Elon, and they wrote the novel. They love to write their novels.
In the book, Technical Project of Mars. Yeah.
So that would make Trump the last American president. And so then how could that possibly happen? Like, just hypothetically, well, if we're in a time of war, it suspends elections, right? And so to me, I don't think he'd run for a third term. I think he'd suspend elections. Why would he not? He just went to war, and he said that he's just going to call it a conflict for legal reasons. He's literally just breaking the Constitution in front of everyone, saying like, we're just going to go to war. We can't call it war because I broke
No, because it's unconstitutional.
Yeah, exactly. And then the Congress let him do it.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. To me, the whole Trump thing is crazy. Everything about Trump is crazy. And then Biden, in hindsight, it was like, yeah, Biden was retarded, and yeah, he let people flood our country and all that stuff. But like, I mean, no one respected that guy, and no one cared what he had to say, and he wasn't really doing much. He was like barely awake. Looked like he didn't. It was like a different guy a lot of times. I don't even know. No one cares. That was like a break. They just put him in there, so then everything that Trump did that resulted in like the major crash, they blamed it on Biden. You know what I mean? And then everyone fell asleep or forgot apparently that Trump was the one that was in charge whenever they took away all of our rights and we all went into lockdowns, and then they fast tracked the vaccine. That was all Trump, and now he's back in, and in how much stuff he's done in less than 2 years is crazy, bro. And so
and the guys who is on top of him is all the Lubavitch rabbis, part of the Jew community, and the other ones is the evangelics, and they all
the Zionist evangelicals,
the Christian Zionists and the Jew Zionists, the both, because you had both. And I have a lot of clips of politics from getting out of the Congress and being interviewed saying like, we're gonna make everything to happen for Israel to bring the third temple. We believe that we are in the end times, and that is a politic, not an evangelic thing. Yeah, so they have everything is planned. At least, like you said, like you mentioned before, we are in the time of the most close situation to Middle East based on religions war. And well, I don't know how it's going to get out, but that's still in place. And supposedly there is like 2 weeks of free time between Iran and United States, but the war is going to keep going. I don't know how much they're going to stretch, and how is this Iran, because Iran right now is alone. I mean, Russia didn't take any position. Of course, it's more in the side of Iran. Everything for me is in stage, but because Gog and Magog is in the Russian side. But in terms of what we see on television, what we see on the news, it's Iran alone with fighting with Israel and United States. So right now there is not a super big conflict, but I don't know how it's going to get out. Man, I need to retire because right now here is 2:30 a.m. and I am not able to process any more English words.
You're good, brother. You're good, brother. It's late here. It's 1:30.
Yeah. I have to my limits, No, but it will be a pleasure, man. And if you are going to get back to YouTube anytime you because I am here in Argentina, so we are more close in terms of the time zone. And so every time you want, you can invite me. And for me, it's going to be more than a pleasure to share my screen and talk with you and with the English community, because if not, I going to be super rust and in terms of my English. So I need to get back on track.
Yeah, brother, you can swing by and polish up on the English. Your English sounds great as always, man.
Thank you,
dude. Awesome. Thank you so much for jumping on, bro. That was such a treat, dude, because you got like the vault of all the videos that I would have had to look for and fumble around, So you helped me make the point of the stream perfectly, which is like, yo, you can't trust anything that these people say. They're liars. So it was good to catch up, man. We got to stay in touch. I am back.
Okay.
I am back to stay.
Okay, man. So everything you need, you can ask me and I send the files, or if you want to invite me, more than welcome to. No, a pleasure to participate in your live stream.
For sure. And we still gotta we still never did a debate together.
No, of course. I'm here. I'm here. So anytime you want.
We'll do it, brother. Thank you so much for jumping on, man. Much love.
Love you.
Later,
bye.
brother.
Bye.
That guy is awesome. All right. Yeah, I mean, I couldn't help. I wanted to pick his brain comment on what he thought was going on. Because I haven't talked to him in so long, but a lot of crazy topics that we're talking about right there, man. Like, how does that all work? Man, it's just so crazy. Obviously, yeah, there was the ceasefire, but you have Israel saying, well, we're just going to keep doing what we're doing in Lebanon, right? And it's like, oh, we're fighting Hezbollah. So you're just displacing everyone like you did in Gaza. You're doing the same thing. And it was Hamas for Gaza. And now it's Hezbollah for Lebanon. And you're going to keep going, and you're going to take over all the places that you've been saying you're going to take over for, what is it? 7 decades? Pretty crazy, man. Pretty crazy. So it is super late. It's 1:30 here. So my boy Just Jack, something crazy happened to him, and he his entire house burned down. Some propane caught on fire, and then all the propane tanks started exploding and burnt everything down. And luckily no one was hurt. And I think his oldest son was there. He heard it, got up, left with his wife, got the dog because he saw the porch was on fire, and he got out safe. They had like a random change of plans while they were coming home. And then normally he would have been home and asleep, and it exploded, and the fire started right by where his bed is, right where like his head would be laying. Right outside of that was where the propane was, which is pretty crazy. RV that they were living in, house, truck, all burned to a crisp. It's pretty devastating, super intense. And so his GoFundMe is in the chat. The link to his GoFundMe is pinned in my chat. So if you guys want to go throw him a couple bucks, I know that every bit would help. And that's intense, right? That's intense. So while I thought what I was going through is really intense, and I would say like crucial, et cetera, we got to count our blessings. And Jack, if you know Jack, he's in good spirits, even like kind of being lighthearted to make a best of a bad situation. And they were super blessed to not be there. So, praise off at the fact that his family's safe. And go try to help out. Prayers for you too. Thank you so much. Okay. Well, super late. Obviously, we covered quite a bit, but you see all the fakery with NASA. It's obvious. I think this stuff's a lot deeper than people realize when you really look into like the inception and history of NASA. It's like satanic and occultic in nature. And so you can think that's fake. You can think it's lame. You can think that that's crazy. I think that they're crazy too. But that's just what happened, right? Just look into Parsons at the beginning of NASA. Look at the weird rituals they were doing, the weird occultic sex rituals, and all the satanic practices that they were doing on NASA facilities, like on NASA property. It's all very weird and creepy. So check it out. And so what do you know? They name all their missions after all these Greek gods and goddesses. And I think that that's a lot to do with what's going on. It's just very occultic in nature. It's all kind of planned out. And no, I do not think that they did anything remotely close to what they're claiming that they did. They're just faking it. The whole thing is fake. It's staged, and that's hard for some people to grasp, but it is what it is. And we just went through all kinds of examples of them like acting super sketchy, orchestrating everything. They have all kinds of choreography while they're trying to distract you while something goes wrong. They're always trying to prove to you they're there. They're always trying to convince you that they're there. Are they really there? I don't think they would really even care to do that. And they're always just trying to show you these like remedial like tasks and stuff like that. But like, yo, bro, can you just take a GoPro and jump out there and like do a 360? You just like strap it to your helmet and just go around and show us your view of everything that you're seeing? Is that too much to ask? Or like, can you just take the camera to the window and let us see what's going on? Can you just put a camera or like 10 on the outside of the capsule so we could see everything? Why are we not broadcasting that in live time anyway? It makes no sense. In their story, there's zero reasons why you couldn't just broadcast a signal in a near perfect vacuum to Earth. Why would you not? You have Starlink. So if Starlink can send me a signal, if I move Starlink back 100,000 miles, what exactly changes? There's no, in their paradigm and what they're claiming, which it's fake, right? And what they're claiming, it's just a near perfect vacuum. There's nothing there. What would be stopping the signal of light? That's the speed of light, right? Because it technically has a speed as in like a rate of induction, but it doesn't travel from point A to point B. But none of that matters, right? We're not even talking about that. It's like their story makes no sense. You would have live streams, no problem, especially since you supposedly had in the 60s. What's going on? It should be obvious. It should be obvious that it's fake. So there's that. And, I just straight up saw the bag go through the guy's ears. So you got to be kidding me, So that's a pretty major ritual. If you zoom out and you think kind of from the lens that Ariel and I were just speaking about, you zoom out and you realize that there's just like a relatively small group of people, like relative to the entire world, right? Powerful people. They are big proponents of astrology. They know that there's a metaphysical component to this realm. There's a spiritual war going on, and they know that they can just press a button and they can put the entire world under a spell. Like, do you realize the power of that? They can press a button, and because of media and the internet and all the devices that everyone has, they can come up with something that they want everyone to hear the next day. Everyone's going to hear the same thing. They're going to hear the same news. They're going to react to the same event. Everyone's going to believe something happened. Everyone's going to believe the same thing. That is an insane amount of power. And so, the Artemis thing is just like it's like a spell, right? It's like, boom, okay, now everyone thinks that just happened. Okay, boom, everyone thinks that just happened. And so that's really all it is for me. And yeah, now they got us looking back out in space, quote unquote, while they're jumping all over the news, talking about how they're about to come disclose all kinds of stuff about aliens and UAPs. Because again, Obama said something about them being real, aliens being real in a recent interview. And then Trump comes out and says he's not supposed to be saying that, but release everything. And so they're just kind of getting you prepared for some type of quote unquote disclosure. And it will all be a psyop, right? And they may use some truth to do the psyop, but there's that. So this stream went way later than I planned, but it's all good. Someone was asking, dude, it's like I'm gonna just have to just wake up and the whole day try and figure out what's going on with the stream. I just all kinds of stuff going on. I'm not gonna say much, right? But a bunch of stuff going on, of course. Prayers appreciated, support greatly appreciated. I don't know how everything is going to work out or where everything's going to go, but prayers appreciated, right? Don't want to talk too much about that though. Maybe some other time. So, but yeah, there's a link. I think witsit.me has like all my links. I haven't like gone and like kind of updated that site, but witsit.me should have like all my links. And Ko-fi is still the place to have set up right now. And there's also patreon.com/whatsitgets at Patreon. And we're going to definitely start doing exclusive streams with the members of Ko-fi and Patreon. So there's that. I tried to run OBS, didn't work. I should have ran a test stream. I ended up having so many other things I had to try to deal with today. So, you know, it is what it is. Thank you for this, bro. Praying for you and the homies all the time. Thank you so much, man. Shout out to Sacred, brother. Miss Fader, I see you in here. Much love. What's it gonna bounce back? Yeah, it'll all work out. All right, let me see if let me read these super chats. Glad you're back. Thank you so much, Ghost Rider. Icy Flat. Oh, that's the new anti-RDD plush toy. Super cool. So the video they'll give us of the Earth from their trip will look 4 times bigger than the moon looks from Earth. Thank you, Blake Norman. Wit is Dean Winchester Hunter fam. Welcome back. Very generous. Thank you so much. 1922G. Thank you so much for the $50. Icy Flat. Bro, how many rocket launches have you been to? 3 or 4. Nick Carey, great to see you back. Resuming membership today. Nice, much love. Would love to see a low-key discussion with Jaron sometime. A low-key one. This is all super relevant. However, I read that one. Thank you, Nairo Beats. Hey, what's it on my vid? I 100% prove you can navigate the Earth using the moon's Maria. The moon is the only way track our year and Yahuwah's feast days. Okay, nice. Fernando, Iru is by far the best FE in Spanish audience. Thank you for bringing this guy to your channel. Yeah, of course, man. Shout out to Iru for popping on. That was cool. It was synchronicity meant to happen. Sorry, I didn't see you ask him the question about if he had been to a launch. Pedro Mia essay speaking English. Danny Marquez Estadia or I know I butchered that, but much love. Sorry, don't understand it. Yo, fam, you gonna live stream fake reentry? Much love. Yeah, we'll probably that's why I went ahead and popped this one off, and then we'll pop back around for whenever they're gonna land in the ocean and everyone acts like they are heroes or whatever. Let me check Ko-fi. Definitely sign up to be a member before this weekend. If you want to be part of what the members are going to get exclusively. Don't say I didn't tell you. Okay, I don't see anything on there. Cool. Cool, man. Yeah, I'm going to set a goal on there here soon. Sensitive topic. Okay. Almost 2 a.m. I did mean to go live earlier. I'm trying to decide if 9 is the better time or if 8 is a good time. I'll try to actually get everything ironed out so I don't jump on and you guys can't hear me and all that. I'll run some test streams. But we're getting back in the swing of things. So I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. What is Ko-fi? It's just it's a platform that's kind of like Patreon. Well, Patreon had censored me back in the day, but I think they stopped censoring people from my understanding. But it's just a place that takes super chats and like monthly memberships, and you can drop exclusive content on there and stuff like that. The issue with like any alternatives too is just like all the people that have been loyal, especially when I had a dip, there were people that held it down, which was super clutch. So, you know, transition would be tough. And then it's like, okay, Patreon, Ko-fi, like exclusive contents, like wherever you're supporting monthly, I want to make sure that you get hooked up with all the exclusive stuff. So I got to figure everything out. So as opposed to just like making 500 promises and then having a to-do list where I don't properly delegate it. And I just like start doing 1,000 things and having to pay for like all these different programs and softwares to do everything, right? I'm just going to like gradually build it up, kind of help put a team together. Definitely go sign up on Kick or go follow me on Kick for sure, because a lot of my exclusive content will be there. I mean, when I say exclusive, I mean just I'll stream there exclusively at times because it won't be censored, right? And that's kick.com/whatsitgetsit. Definitely show me some love on Kick. Shout out to everybody on Kick. I think I should start just like exclusively reading the Kick stream. I didn't even think about it. I think going forward, I might like prioritize the Kick stream. Okay, I'm going to have to even find. Okay, there it is. I was like, yo, where'd it go? The only thing about streaming too late, right? Like I end up getting tired. My eyes get really heavy and I feel like they're like kind of bloodshot. And I don't like that. So I think 8 might be the good time. God bless your whole family. What's it, kids? Thank you so much. All right. So we'll get Kick rolling here soon, but definitely go follow a brother on Kick if you don't mind. Means a lot to me, but I'll just start streaming on there exclusively at times. So, but Kick is a pretty good platform. So. All right, we're good. Won't say too much, but if you want to support, it's greatly appreciated. Ko-fi's maybe the best way. If you go to whatsit.me, there's like a donate or support place. Also, show some love to Jack. His GoFundMe is pinned, and you know anybody that's got like any type of insight or advice or anything based on, or you have been through a similar situation, then feel free to reach out to me. And I'm going to set up a goal at some point, but when the timing is right, you know. All right. I'm going to stream tomorrow. That's why I need to go to sleep. So I can actually get everything ironed out because OBS is way better. Got to figure out why things aren't loading, all that. Shout out to the people that stayed this whole time. This is a pretty long stream, I think. Hey, Miss Vader, thank you so much. That's cool. I didn't even know that there was a Ko-fi bot that showed it. There's a Ko-fi bot that shows the donations. That's crazy. I didn't know that. Let's see. The Vaders have missed you. Thanks for being back with us. Thank you so much for the support. And I miss you guys too. I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you guys are doing good. I hope the fam is good. I love you guys. It's been a while. We'll have to hang out if I'm ever out that way. Great stream. Thank you so much, Mr. F. White. Cool. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow, tentatively 8. See how like my eyes are like, I look so tired and my eyes start getting red. Like, I don't like that. I don't like that. I wonder if I'm going to start maybe occasionally like just stream earlier in the day too. I don't know. Cause you have like the natural light. I just feel like more chill with like that, you know? Cool. All right. I love you guys. Seek and speak truth unequivocally. The weak find contentment in the consensus of ignorance. That's just how it be. So who cares what other people think? Yeah, gone for a while, kind of rusty. Give me a break. We'll get it all figured out. And hopefully you guys enjoy the content. If you do, make sure to support it and smash the like button and share, etc. Okay. The summary of the stream is that Artemis is faking gay. Okay. I love you guys. Peace.
That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up, had to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in the field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Took the way you saw the world, then distorted it. Now you think you wanna rock that twirl somewhere orbiting. Theories disproportionate, the truth distorted quick with a forceful grip. They force a misinfo that we absorbing quick. Took the people's signature to mean extorted it. They forging it if news anchors informants who informing them. There's a surplus, but they tell us there are shortages. Credit economy mortgages, dollar that's supported with empty fortresses. But what's important is this: we courting ships, important gifts. Of course it is, but extortion is in accordance with an assortment list of foreign tricks. We ignoring which informing this, informing this. It looked like we were snoring tricked. Pedophilia and the government endorsing it. Yeah, eugenics is exactly what abortion is. You just vilify those insubordinate. Way to matrix engineer, that's unfortunate. Geopolitically, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real? Rappers acting say they high, say they simple pills. Glorify suicide so they get the deals. Big pharma set it up just to flip the pills. Control the music industry until the scripts get filled. Geopolitically, yeah, we in a field. That's for Israel. Wonder, is it real?